May I have your attention? May I please have your attention? Super Sundays. Yeah, baby. We're back at it again. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sir Hill Speaks Super Sundays. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. We've been doing these shows for months now, and you guys have been showing up consistently as we take on and we tackle different challenges and different topics. So I appreciate it. But here's what we're trying to do going forward. We want to grow this audience to people who need to hear content like this. And so we need your help. How can you help us? That's a fantastic question. Be sure to make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell for all of the content that we have, particularly Super Sundays. All right, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy. Make sure you invite somebody to Sir Hill Speaks Super Sundays. We're getting ready to go in. We're going to have a good time. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's get to the show.
Me go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Down, levitate, going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate. On time, never late. I grind, celebrate. No pump fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day. Champagne Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now I'm stepping up to home. Like straight out the sandlot, now I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Smell good, skin clear. This here my year. Hey, look up here. This here my tier. Same fit 4 days. I grind 4 ways. I play no games. All me, no blame. On the wave, my own wave. Can't stop my shine. In the lane, my own lane. Can't stop my grind. 40 yard in the V12 and like 1.5. At 19, I cleared 19 in a month, no lie. Oh God. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees.
Young is coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Yeah, skirt. I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Young is coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoying the music.
I flipped my pie, really did that 180.
That gon' tell me I can't do it. Better be on time with my bankroll. Watch out, fat, no ball cat, no lit word. Routine like clockwork, my wrist work.
I flourish the cook, got no roof on it.
So you
Talking,
got
I'm
it.
all in the moment.
You prepared.
Everything lit, I don't miss.
You
Till
ready.
someone get John on the line, say the invoice is coming. I'm thumbing through stacks of that
I
cold ball.
promise you,
They
you gonna
egging me
enjoy
on,
this
so
show.
I'm going off. I got them
Tonight,
mad, I
folks,
show off.
it's
They
none
treating my
other
life like it's no law.
than
I never
Casino.
flex above my means.
Almost
I spit
got
the
that
cream with my
white
tribe,
voice.
don't I? Don't bro me, don't know me, you not regime. To the one with the gun that my eye is on it. I see you move through the place, they precaution, they snaking, they seeing me. Money tree, wake up the royalties. I got a queen, yeah, she go with me. She making me feel like I'm royalty. It's probably cause you rugged. I just got fresh with the golden peas, shrug, show the emoji, okay. You know it's me, diamond soul, dancing, singing like Jodeci. 10 out of 10 every time till they notice me. What you thought I was supposed to be.
Knock you down, all right?
Ain't nobody close to me. Granted, my hits touch the billboards, and they printing my face on the billboard. They envy my drip, I'm enlightened. You should let go of that hate, but you feel more. I make them rage every time they get flame when they hear what I say, coming straight from the source, yeah. I come a long way from the coast by the shore, my boy, I'm enjoying this. Young bitch coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand up, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flip my pie, really did that 180. Yeah. I flip my pie, really did that 180.
Who's that gon' tell me I can't do? Better be on time with my bankroll. Talk fat, no ball, can't
And now,
lit word.
your host,
Routine.
Sir Hill Speaks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is not Sir Hale. Once again, we're back. Thank you for coming. This is Lost in Translation Podcast. I'm being point guarded by the best tonight, Black David. Tonight, we have a very, very, very special podcast for you tonight. The name of this show is It Safer Just to Be Single in 2023? Let's be honest. Now, for the people at home and watching on the replay, let me go ahead and get the welcomes out of the way. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a sensational Sunday like no other. Get ready to elevate your weekend with Sir Hale Speaks Super Sunday podcast. Join us as we embark on an inspiring journey of wisdom, wit, and wonderment with the one and only Sir Hale. Every Sunday, we're diving deep into the realms of knowledge, laughter, and thought-provoking conversation. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, laughing in your favorite, laying in your favorite armchair, or your refreshing Sunday stroll, this podcast is perfect companion. Get ready to enlighten and be entertained and engaged. So sit back and relax. Your Super Sunday podcast, infuse your Sunday with positivity and insight. It's that time to kickstart Super Sunday in style with Sir Hale Speaks. I'm going to thank you, Black David, for allowing me to come up tonight. I'm going to be point guarding it for tonight, and I want to go ahead and bring up my guests for the evening. And then once we do that, we're going to go ahead and speak to the people in the chat and say hello to a few people. Let's go ahead and bring up the one and only Reckless Ray De Niro.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Reckless Ray De Niro in the building. Hope y'all ready to get reckless tonight. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm ready to rumble.
Way to go. Thank you. Next, we have up the one and only Scam Likely. How you doing, Dusto? What's going on, sir? How are you?
All is well. Shout out to all the trolls.
To the trolls. I tell you what, we got one more. Tamia, how are you this evening?
I'm good. Nice to see you guys.
That's right. Good. We got a lady in the house, so we have to give him some sprinkles.
Oh
That's right.
boy.
Let's go ahead and get this thing started. That's right, the sprinkles. And we have the one and the only Mandrell 211. What's up, sir?
All right.
You doing all right this evening?
Fine.
Good to see you. Welcome. Black David, who else we got there in the back, man? Because I know they sliding in here, man. I want to get started with.
I will let you know as they coming there. I'll put in the private chat who is coming up there, but you should have addressed manager at Marco Midget.
Black David, hold on. We have to talk. Okay.
We will
after
talk.
the show.
I'm getting back on everybody who wrote through our last year. So I'm kind of like being unleashed. Everybody who got at me.
Yeah, but you're gonna thank me for not addressing this in front of the audience tonight.
Lord.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Let's get started, man.
So I'll let you guys know. I'll put in the private chat. And then I'll keep on aiming at Mandrell. He's my twin brother. Go at it.
Very good. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. Black David, here's the thing. Everybody on the panel, there's a question, man, that Sir Hale got us talking about tonight. Is it safer just to be single in 2023? Let's be honest. Now, Black David, go ahead and run the first video, man, because I don't know what Sir Hale cooked up in the back, but I'm pretty sure it's good. So if you don't mind, Black David, let's go ahead and run that beautiful bean footage. And there you have it. This video is I've seen this. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one too, where the surgeon or the wife of another surgeon, she comes home after 13 hours of working and still comes home to cook her husband a meal. We're gonna start this one with Reckless Ray. Reckless Ray, what do you think about that, man? Is it cool, man?
I think you found a keeper. I mean, these wealthy people. Let's be honest here. This whole they're both working. Her husband's also a surgeon. He's obviously working longer than she is. What? I do not understand. What, is he supposed to come home and cook her a meal? This doesn't even make sense. She's the first one home. They're both surgeons. It's not like this dude was sitting on the couch playing Xbox and she worked 13 hours and came home and cooked him a meal. That I would say, you got a son, husband, like you might, or a husband, child, man thingy, and you might want to address that. But I don't understand why there is this so much pushback from women against other women. Other women. Y'all are out here alone on the other side of the wall, dealing with the White Walkers, wondering why you're alone competing with men for resources. While these women who have men, who have completed the assignment, you want to talk as though you have something that they don't have. The only thing you have is the responsibility for the entire household on your own by yourself, and to feed your dogs, and to die alone, and to probably have the children that you made that didn't want to be here hate you upon your death. There's no... People are so obsessed with what other people are doing that have good lives while they're miserable. It's such a non-starter conversation. It's really gotten to the point now to where it's like you wonder why these women don't tell you how to succeed at relationships, at marriages, because y'all suck and you want to suck. Like you just want to be out here racking up bodies. You want to be out here doing what thou wilt, doing what you want, destroying society, living experimental lifestyles with no vetted process, and you have the gall to talk about people that are in relationships that are happy. Now, I'd understand if she was like, I worked a 13-hour shift and I hate this man and I'm upset, and y'all wanted to dogpile him. She was just pointing out that she works 13 hours and still comes home and takes care of her man. Men like that. I'm just saying, like it's what it is. But I digress. You guys keep doing what you're doing and keep getting the results that you're getting, and I guess we'll see you out here under these bridges when I make a note of all the strong, independent women that have reached the final stage.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Reckless Ray. Tamia, you're next from the woman's point of view. Tell us what you think about the surgeon working 13 hours and still coming home to cook a meal for her family.
I think she's doing the right thing. Right before I came on here, it's 8:30. I made sure dinner's prepared, that I'm not leaving the house to do anything or any obligations without my household being covered. So I feel like she's doing what she's supposed to do. I don't think there's necessarily a praise to it. I feel like, just like Reckless Ray was saying, even if you take it out of a woman's role, just common sense, she's clearly home first. She's home first. It's been 13 hours. He's not home yet. They both have to eat. Was she going to feed herself? And then he has nothing left. So I think even as a spouse or in a relationship, it's I'm not going to make something for myself and not for the other individual. If I'm hungry after 13 hours, my husband is definitely going to be hungry. So I don't think there's anything wrong. I honestly think anybody who's looking at that, girl, why do you have to? I think that's an ego thing. I think if any woman's looking at that and she's like, why do you have to cook for him? I'm sure she ate too. I'm sure she had a plate as well. I'm sure she didn't just make him food and then starve. And I think that's where it goes into people digging for an issue, literally digging for a problem to not be submissive or to not take care of your spouse. So I'm totally down. I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same exact thing for my husband.
I agree. And not only that, it looks like it's a little bit more healthier too. And it's probably less expensive because once you think about it, man, you spend $40, $50 on DoorDash, and you don't get nearly the quality that this lady can clearly cook up.
No, wait. My question is, why is she scaling that fish in the house?
Why is she scaling the fish in the house?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I was like,
What's
wait,
your
why
point
is
of view
she
on this?
scaling the fish in the house? You do that outside. That's y'all ain't never had to clean it up, have you?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying. Oh, y'all don't know about scaling fish. That's what it is. Y'all uppity.
Mandra, what you think about this situation? She didn't work.
Forgotten your roots and the whole nine.
She didn't work
Oh my
13
God.
hours, man.
I don't care.
Coming
I
home.
don't think she was going outside to scale the fish. I know about scaling fish. I know it gets messy. She made escovitch fish, so I know what type of fish she made and everything. It is actually she actually made a pretty timely dish after that 13 hours. So I think even that had like a sense of catering to him. Like she wanted him to feel like, okay, it's not like, because that too, she didn't just come home and put together like macaroni and a quick frozen dinner and made sure he had food. Like, no, she cooked a meal as though if it was 8 p.m., 6 p.m., she made a meal. But in terms of scaling the fish, it could have been late hours. It could have been,
Take that shit outside.
Mandra, how should she have done it?
What do you mean? She should have gone outside, like set up a table or something outside, and then scale and put some newspaper on top of the table and scale the fish that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's already in scrubs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She can shake the scrubs off when she's done.
Right.
So she ain't tracking it back in the house.
Right.
But
outside of that, you have a problem with her, cooking after working 13 hours.
The husband's working 13 hours too, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. That's the backstory.
Who's
allegedly.
got a problem?
You'll be surprised. You got people like, I work 13 hours. I'm slaving. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to slave over a hot stove, and I didn't work my 13 hours. You know the usual routine, man. You know the usual routine.
Losers are gonna lose. That's just how it is, and it's a
Right.
loser mindset that leads them down that way. The people who talk like that think it's cute now.
Right.
When you're in your youth or after your youth, you get into your prime. They think it's cute now, but when you're 60 and you're sitting in that house by yourself, take pride in the fact that you bought a house and everything. That cool, you've accomplished that much, but that's not really an accomplishment. That's just something
They're not buying houses. Quit lying. They're not buying houses.
I'm trying
They're
to be
not
nice
buying
here,
houses.
Ray. Okay.
Yeah, try. Don't try. They're not buying houses. You're going to be renting forever. You're going to work forever.
But here's the
You're going
thing,
to live a
Ray.
miserable life.
Ray.
You're going to be tired, and then you're going to die.
And just so y'all
Forever.
know, Ray and I are not trying to be mean. When we say you're not going to buy a house, because you're not, because you can't afford it anymore.
Facts.
You can't afford a house by yourself, ladies. $400,000. How many of y'all buying a house? Stop it. Let's be real. Cut the shit.
Indeed.
Okay. This whole thing. You don't need a man. I hear that, I'm like, these days, my answer is, okay, that's your prerogative. Hope it works out for you. And I really have no ill will towards them. I wish nothing. It's just, we've seen this song and dance before. We know how this movie ends. Not well for you. So people just need to get the chip off their shoulder and learn how to cooperate with one another and get along with another human being, and stop being. It's very selfish, or they're moving in fear. Because take for instance, I made this point before. Like a woman grows up as a little girl and becomes a young lady, right? So then she's told relationships work this way, but then she meets a guy, seems okay, things go crazy, right?
Right.
But then she meets, or she's told, no. He's a good guy, yeah, but you marry him. But right now, go explore, go date around. You found the goose with the golden egg. Your first shot, you won already. Because I've seen this happen, ladies. But then no, this person tells them to go out and date around. You know what I'm saying? See what's out there. This, that, and the other, and they do just that. But these guys ragdoll them. The next guy ragdolls her, right? The guy after that, ragdolls her too. 3 or 4 of those, and she's done. Now she's bitter. She's scared. Because the first guy she dated, he now found a woman. He's married probably. So she missed out on that. And every guy she runs into, and every male friend she has, sounds just like the jerks that, treated her like trash. So from her perspective and her point of view, the vast majority of guys are like that, but which isn't, well, it might be the case. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't see why you have a problem with a woman taking care of her husband. It's her husband. He is hers. He belongs to her. And she just, it's unfortunate that you're getting pissed off at her for taking care of her stuff. You know what I'm saying? The better you take care of something, like that empty ass house you live in, the longer it lasts, doesn't it?
Black David, I want you to pull up Society's super chat before we get to Dusto. I want to make sure we get that out of the way and appreciate him. Society says, a wife who loves her husband won't have any problem with making a meal. Her effort shows him that she cares about him. Effort goes a long way. Thank you so much, Society.
I'm just saying, yeah.
And for that, you get...
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you so much for that. And now, the one and only Dusto. Dusto, what you got to say, sir?
Unfortunately, after watching the video, what you didn't see was the script behind and the director saying, hey, cover up that Kiki Palmer dress. Put this nurse suit on. It'll get you more likes and views.
Oh, my God.
That's what you didn't see.
That's a lie.
And she was like, and they edited it out, but what it really was, she was going to say, I love my husband. Yes, I will submit to you. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. I value man. That's the part y'all missed about the video.
What's the scripted, Dusto?
Yeah, here's the deal. You can get on the internet. Why not?
I don't know, man.
No, I'm saying why not? Because here's the deal. You can build up any clip that you want to see. Then it'll eat your algorithm up. If you want to say modern women don't submit, war 50-50, all the nation of Wigwam takes over, and then get riled up and start fighting the women's, then that's the videos that they'll keep putting out. 30, 50, 200,000. If it's I'll submit to my man, and that's what the men want to see, you'll get 50,000 fake videos. I will submit. Yeah,
I get it. This
was great.
It's for, he's saying it's for, she did it for attention.
No, I'm just saying it is what it is. Maybe I'll start putting out some fake stuff. Why not? I'm just saying. I'll just get a 22-year-old say, my body count is 0. I come from another country. I love my passport, bro, who found me. Oh, yes. 300,000. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have 488,000 subscribers in a week.
You will. That's
they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me when they find out I'm lying. But I mean, 6 weeks later, somebody else will go and do the same thing, and they'll be on top. I mean, we know how this works.
Yeah.
Well, Dusto, let me ask, why do you think it would be like that? If you put out videos like that, why do you think it would get so many views?
How can I say it? The men's and the women's. I don't know why people are so obsessed with this fake box of 6 things. Men make more money. Submit to the man. All this junk. Now I get that a lot of it is a form of reality that most people are not. But look in the mirror and say, hey, this is who I am. Let me find what works best for me. And understand that I am an individual. What works best for me? But instead, all the women's, all the men's is protect and provide.
Wait a minute. So based on that logic, you're saying that what works best for some men is just getting walked all over and dog walked up and down the street and treated disrespectfully and being told that they're not shit and having to negotiate any type of peace within their homes. You're saying that that's what works best for some of these men?
Ray, you don't have to tell you.
No, Ray. Do you have a sister?
Yeah, Ray, you don't have to tell your entire life story, man.
Do you have any female friends?
No, I have plenty of female friends, but I
give
give them
this to most of these men out here and say, submit, cook that sandwich. Would you send them over there?
In these YouTube spaces, no, but in my personal circle, absolutely.
I'm not talking about personal circle. Men in America as a whole.
I would introduce him to Mandrell. Probably.
No, hold on. We know Mandrell. He's been vetted.
Yeah.
But most of the men out there, do you see a whole bunch of men? Do you see a whole bunch of men?
Okay. But you also said I should look in the mirror and find out what works best for me. So a man going, I want submission and peace in my household, and then getting out here complaining about what he doesn't get, which, Mandrell, you never hear me complain about those things, by the way. Anyways, but him going, these are the things that I want, and then obviously I'll agree with you. They're always looking in the same two places where the scallywags and dog walkers are. I'll agree with you on that point. And then they come to these spaces going, these women aren't submissive. And it's like, you can't be trying to pick up club baddies. Like that's not where you find submissive women.
Well, Ray, look at it like this. A guy like that, would it be better for him to just be alone?
I mean, 100%. If you're not gonna get what you want, honestly, as a man, I'd say that 75 to 80% of what women have to bring to the table at this point, we can pay to have done. DoorDash, a peasant will come bring me my food. A peasant will come bring me my groceries. There are peasants out here that can come clean my house, and I pay them to leave and take their drama with them. And most of the time, I don't have to even interact.
Ray,
so,
come on, man, that's too much money wasted.
That's not too much money wasted. It depends on what you're doing. Do you think that these men? Wait a second, Mandrell. You're telling me that these men who are multimillionaires are having their wives actually physically clean the house, that they don't have staffs of cleaners? I have men who have assistants for their wives because their wife has to manage the house, but they're literally just managing the house. They're not physically cleaning or physically doing the laundry. There are people for that, depending on what level you're at. Like, I'm not saying that average Joe, who's the manager at McDonald's, because that job actually pays well. You don't have that.
Ray, Ray, listen.
It's $25 to get somebody to clean your house unless you live in a mansion.
I get it, bro. But listen, there's only so much house I can live in.
Okay.
I don't need 32 rooms. All right.
Facts.
5 at the max.
Cap.
No. What else am I going to do with the rest of it? That's ridiculous.
No, 100%. But that means that you're cleaning to get your house, to get a smaller house cleaned. It's like $50.
Right. So
you would rather keep the $50 and have your woman do something more productive than that $50 worth of time. That doesn't make sense.
If that's the case, yeah. Like if say I'm married, right, and my wife wants she tells me, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Now, if the house is like, if it's just too much, or we just don't feel like cleaning the house like that. I mean, which makes more time for us to spend time together. Okay, yeah, I'll pay a cleaning service, but I'm paranoid, Ray.
Okay, that's
you know what I'm saying. I don't want people going through all my shit. Okay, my stuff. I'm not okay with that.
I understand, but what I'm saying is there's somebody that a person who's not paranoid could pay to fulfill most of these roles.
That's true,
and take their drama with them out of the house to make it to where it is in the sense of like, if you're not going to get what you want, then why? Like, we as men, we know we're working to death anyway.
Okay.
It's a little bit different for women, but as a man, if I'm not at this point, I work too hard and I'm planning, my trajectory is shooting too high to be a happy wife, happy life, dude. That would be absolutely terrible. It would make everything that I've done, I'd rather just be alone and do it myself because I can at this point. All the things are there. I mean, this is the thing. I don't make 6 figures and I pay to have somebody bring me my groceries because it allows me to continue working. That time is worth more than going and physically spending 2 hours to go pick my stuff up. There's someone who can do that.
No, it isn't, Ray. You need to get out the
Yes,
house.
it is. Yes, it is.
It's more than just work, brother. Come on, trust me, I know.
100%, but my time is worth more than walking around the grocery store looking at a bunch of dumbasses that I don't want to see anyway. I can get something productive done.
Ray.
But this is no. Andrew, listen, this goes down to choice. This is the difference between the people that move up in society and people that get to a certain level and stop. That's the thing. It's just like when you're in special forces versus being in the military. There's some people who do more work than other people. They have more output than other people. Therefore, they are more important than other people. It's the same principle. It's
that's true. Because most people are going to be average anyway.
Exactly.
I don't understand this whole. I don't want to get off into another subject.
Okay, sorry. No, we need to make that a conversation for later. That's a good one too.
Because what I was going to come back with, that was going to be a whole other conversation we got into. I was like, let's.
We need to set that up. That could be content for your channel.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. To me, let me ask you a question. To me, when you hear these rapscallions talk about letting somebody else do their grocery shopping, how does that make you feel as a woman?
I feel like I understand Ray. I feel like if there's a preference on how to get things done and where you want to allocate your time, then you allocate your time that way. I have definitely used Amazon Fresh. I will quickly Amazon Fresh my groceries. Does that mean I'm not putting them away? I'm not cooking? I'm not cleaning the house? No, but there are times with 2 toddlers, I'm still working. My husband goes to work. Amazon Fresh can be convenient at times. Come to my door at 6 a.m. I wake up, I put it in the fridge. But I definitely do understand. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at my husband if he's like, hey, 2 days out of the week or 2-3 days out of the week, I know you like to go work out or you like to do whatever, keep yourself together for him. I'm going to have this person come in and clean the house or, you know, like do the deep cleaning. Even if it was like 2 times a month, he's like, let's do deep cleaning or whatever. That's totally fine. I would not be offended. But it doesn't take away my interest in still like going through the house every day and making sure it's not a hot mess when he comes home or anything like that. So I see where Ray's coming from. I don't think it steps on the wife's toes. Depending on, I'm sure there are women though that are like, no, no one else clean my house. I'm going to clean my house. But little things, you know, today this world is about convenience. So if you can spend more time on the things that you're interested in and care about, then we take opportunity and advantage in that. So I'm totally down for delivered groceries and convenience. I'm not mad at it.
Lazy.
I'm not
This is lazy.
I'm just saying, Tamia.
I don't think that's lazy.
The reason why I'm picking at you, Tamia, is because it's just the way. Of course, it's not actually lazy. The way you described it, though, it's like, wow, she just doesn't know.
It's what it is. It's convenient.
Yes, it is. I'm picking at you.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, but like it definitely is. It can be used for lazy individuals for sure. There are individuals that are like, yeah, I'm not going to touch a grocery store because people can deliver it. That can be seen as, I mean, that's still, you know, preference.
I don't even like hearing that, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know, that's not me. But I would definitely say on my perspective, from my stance, it's about convenience. Like if there are another bunch of billion things on my schedule, then if I have to order the groceries today, I will. I am not that headstrong that I won't order them. If it could make me breathe.
Or you could just go to the grocery store, get out the house.
But look at this, Mandrell. Honestly, the way that society. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because then you know what else? If I can get those groceries ordered, or this person can come help me clean the house, my husband is less likely to deal with an overwhelmed, exhausted wife. If like those things can step in, I don't have to pretend that I'm Superwoman 24/7 just because I want to say I went to the grocery store. You know, like that doesn't have to be the case. If it's convenience in a matter of like, hey, I'm like, babe, I got soccer practice for Amir, this for Aiden, this, and that's all fine. But hey, if we can order the groceries and they can get to the house so that by the time I get back to the house, I'm not delayed on dinner, why not? Because if not, then I'm like hassling and rushing and he wants my attention too. So if things can make up more space, because there are people that do that, it's not lazy, it's actually thinking smarter, because then there's the complaint of my wife is bickering, or what the video showed. You know, she's free, she's calm, but we don't know inside that she's probably exhausted. You know, she's probably like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this for my husband because I feel that I should, and I want him to feel loved. But the video didn't discuss how she truly, genuinely feels in her body or in her mind. And in order to keep a house functioning, the woman sets the tone in the household. So if there are things that you can do to, you know, alleviate some of that or create a game plan, then why not?
The woman sets the tone, or the man sets the tone?
The woman sets the emotional tone in that household. Now, if she listens to her, I'm not saying she runs the household, but if your wife, your girlfriend wakes up with an attitude and there's now a energy shift in the house, if things are going on and she wants to hold a grudge for 8 days, there's an energy shift in the house. Now, whether that man pays attention to it or she has enough respect to let things go, that's different. But
why would she hold a grudge for 8 days? Like what could possibly be?
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised. There are many things that happen. There are tensions.
8 days though?
Yeah.
There are things that draw.
If it doesn't get unresolved, it can get worse.
It can get
about
worse.
That.
You're sitting on. There's a lot of things that can build and pile up under that.
Yeah, but who deals with that for 8 days and don't ask questions? Like what man does that?
people.
No, I'm talking about the man now. Like, how do you like? Hold on. If my girl, look, I don't even have to be around them. If my girlfriend is on the phone with me and I sense that there's an attitude or something like that, first thing out of my mouth, hey, you okay?
See,
what's wrong?
So
Mandrell, it's deeper than that.
But there
I'm
are
like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, are you okay? What's wrong?
Mandrell, these aren't robots, bro.
But Scam, who is
Mandrell?
Huh?
Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Woman's going through something.
Right. So I ask questions.
No, hold on. Woman's going through something. She's acting a certain way.
Yeah.
Most of your men, hey, what's the problem? I just feel like huh? That didn't make sense.
That's he's not lying. He is not lying. That is literally my response. I can attest to that.
He's not
dead ass.
He's not lying.
Mandrell,
if you don't understand, ask more
Mandrell,
questions.
that's how it goes on for 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless you find a robot.
Then there's an
Or
argument.
insensitive, unemotional, whatever. But there's these fictional characters that they keep making up for the YouTubers. Get you a 25-year-old woman who's traditional, which is a fake-ass lie. Traditional woman. And she has a body count of -1, and she's a robot. You push 2 buttons. She says, I'm going through something. I don't care because I'm a man. I paid the bills. And she says, oh, I guess I'll go ahead and submit. That's the lie they keep pushing.
That never works out.
Then Neanderthal Jenkins, 6 weeks later, is on a dust panel.
Listen.
But who? Wait, my thing is hold on, Ray. My thing is this.
No, hold on, man. I've been that dude before because I didn't know.
Fair enough, you didn't know. But my thing is, at our age, right? Like, what man sees this woman like
they're getting worse by age, man, girl.
Or this duress
They're
for
getting
an
stupider.
hour? Like, I mean, even if you don't notice it immediately, if you notice it, address the problem. Then just and ask questions and listen. She probably doesn't even need you to fix it right then and there. She probably just needs you to listen at first.
Everybody doesn't function that way, though.
So just listen and be quiet.
You might want to get the instructions to your lady.
But here's the deal, though.
Did you always know that?
Lady, that's every lady.
Did you always
It's
know
not
that?
every lady. Every lady ain't the same.
No. And my deal is this, though, to Scam's point. It's like, okay, well, then who are these chicks that are getting married to these top busy dudes that literally aren't around? Like, I mean, I understand, and I'm 100% with you in the sense that there are differences and there's hierarchies in men. The problem is the women do not want the men. Well, no, listen, let me land the plane. The women do not want the men that are in the middle or the bottom right now. They're isolated on the top 10 to 20%, top 20%. We'll say top 20% just being nice.
I don't
right. That's who they would prefer because their lives would be easier. Yes, it is right.
He's not.
Reckless Ray. What did that have to do?
But wait, because
they don't want that guy.
Well, if you let me finish instead of you're not listening. Neither of you are listening right now.
No, what I'm saying is, if they got that guy, they have to follow instructions. So they don't actually want him.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. But the issue is you have the dudes at the bottom that go, oh, I'm going to navigate just like that guy does, even though I don't deserve to be able to make the rules, as though we are all the same. We're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. We're just not. That's what Scam Likely is pointing out. That's what he's seeing is these dudes that do not command that level of authority.
Ray, let me ask you a
question. That are going, I'm going to act like that.
Ray, that's a part of it, but it has nothing to do. Okay. They're also going to keep telling people, which is a lie, go get all this money and walk around with this briefcase and thump her in the back of the head with it, and she's going to submit. It's a lie.
It has nothing to do with that. I aspire to have money because I don't want to have a shitty existence.
No, Reckless Ray, the conversation had nothing to do with money.
Ray, I was about to ask you how much
to do with money.
How much?
But the attitude that you reflected on is someone who's busy, someone who doesn't have time. If you're mentally taxing and out here,
with time or money. It had nothing to do with time or money.
On their back and act like that. Like
it had nothing to do with time or money. It had to do with the communication factor.
I was about to ask you, Ray, how much does respect cost?
And, I mean, apparently you got to. Well, I mean, apparently you got to grow to be above 6 feet, which you have no control over. You got to have a 6-pack, which you do have control over. And then, I mean, at this point, 6 figures ain't even enough. So you're going to have about $250,000 a year.
Listen, you got people who cross the border whose
Those
husband
people don't.
sells
There's a lot of those
sells
don't get
fruit
respect
in the
either.
parking lot, he gets respect from his wife. You know, how
Yep.
come a normal guy who gets up and goes to work every day can't get that same level of respect?
Because we're
I don't get that.
Americans.
It's in America.
Because it's America.
It's
It's
America.
America, exactly.
I'm still stuck on the dude who sat there 8 days while his lady pissed off and didn't do nothing about it.
Oh,
Well,
bro.
that's
You'd
a
be
dude
surprised.
that doesn't need to be in a. He's not mentally there to be
Exactly,
in a relationship.
exactly, man.
But
Exactly. I'm like,
but it's a reality of a
that
woman,
happens.
though.
Y'all telling me?
It
Yes.
does.
Do you
Oh,
think that
100%.
doesn't exist?
I
Like,
think it needs to
everybody-
happen more. To be honest,
I just don't understand how it gets to that level. To be honest,
I think it needs to happen more.
If it
Why?
didn't get to that level, then I feel like everybody's relationship would be fine.
Or they would
Then
just put a
everybody-
Band-Aid
like,
over and
everybody-
pretend
Well,
like
I
it's
mean,
fixed.
Mandrell, this is the question. If the statement that you're positing is true, then how are you not in a relationship?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I guess we just got to be two opposite sides of a coin. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, you missed that one.
but okay, I did because like Mandrell don't ever talk about anything. He's always online. I don't know. I never seen him.
He don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how people roll these days.
I
man.
had
They
never
don't-
seen
they don't let
nobody hand him a
know.
cup of water. Or nothing.
You know what? We're gonna take a little break.
When do
right
you
now.
see your girlfriend?
Reset.
bro?
We're gonna take a break to reset the conversation. Black David, let's get these super chats up here. First super chat from Society.
You want me to read the super chats?
Yeah, we're gonna get them out the way. We wanna miss
For
them.
the peasant fund.
Come on, Dusto, read the super chats for us.
Society, whatever your name is. Thank you for $1.99 for the Peasant Fund. Next super chat, please.
Well, we're moving on now.
Next super chat.
Ricky Webster, $4.99. Supporting the show. Great panel. Next super chat.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, thank you so much, Ricky Webster. Now we want to go on to the next one. Did anybody want to say anything before we cruise on to the next one?
Yeah, I want to say
The
something.
reason why people don't know is because I don't talk about my personal life like that, and nobody asks. You asked me, how come you're not in a relationship? What I do?
Okay,
I
fair enough.
answered you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Come on, Dusto. You got something to say?
Some of the conversation almost proves a point. Women say it, hey, I'm having a bad day, blah, and then what happens? That becomes a conversation. Here comes the
No, we were
woman.
supposed to know. We were supposed to know is what you said. You're supposed to look over, see that she's upset, and be like,
Reckless
yo,
Ray, you're doing it
good.
right now. You're doing it right now.
No.
I
I'm
can't even finish
holding
the
you
sentence.
to what was said. You did the same thing to me earlier, sir.
You're not upset. Just get better. You'll be all right.
No, I'm saying it's a
I know the guys
communication
are like
thing.
that. Yeah, I know the guys like that scam.
People take the briefcase and try to substitute it for communication and attraction and other things. A communication problem is a communication problem. And they love these celebrities. Oh, Russell Wilson. Whoa, Will Smith. They're getting ragdolled. And they got the briefcase. And they're getting thumped in the head with their own briefcase. That's all I got. That's
All right. Thank you, Dusto. Okay. Black David, I know you got something in the back for us. Roll that beautiful beam footage for question number 2.
So here are 2 signs that you are dating a mama's boy who doesn't know he's a mama's boy, because mama is married to him and controls him in the back end and he has no clue. So number 1 is a mama's boy who doesn't know he's a mama's boy. The nature of his relationship with his mom suddenly changes right after he meets you, or things are starting to get serious. They change. Either she will fall out with him, she will start a fight, she will start contention, there will start big conflict because she is drawing and calling his energy back to her. And they fight as if they're lovers. They fall out as if they're lovers. And it's a big fallout, and he's preoccupied with her because she's calling his energy back. The other one is when she starts to chase him. All of a sudden, they used to speak maybe every so often, a few times a week. Now she calls him every day and they have very long conversations. This break in pattern, you will feel your partner's energy pulling back. That's a mom.
Did everybody get that one? Or do we need to
Yes,
run it
sir.
back? All right. The question is, a daddy's girl is a term of respect, but a mama's boy is not. Why is that? We're gonna start with Dusto this time and work our way around.
I see it different.
Come
on. Sometimes your daddy's girl is trying to meet somebody like her daddy, and if you ain't that, you got a problem. Let's be real. I've seen some divorces work that way.
Okay.
And if she wants to meet a man like her daddy, she needs to be like her mama. And she ain't. So daddy's girl now, groomed by daddy and mom and have that love and respect. Woman usually tends to be more marriable, but it can go left. The mama's boy, let's be real. When you had these conversations, there are people who are marriable, there are people who are groomable, then there's the rest of it, them other people. It doesn't matter what you do. They're not marriable people. So chasing and calling a mama's boy, he's not marriable. All the spoiled daddies, they're not marriable people. It don't matter what you do. That's all I got. Dustin Crust.
All right, Mandrill. Next.
What do you want to know?
Why is it considered being a daddy's girl is a term of endearment versus a man being a mama's boy? Why is that? What's the difference?
To be tell you the truth, I haven't really put much thought into that. You know, but the mama's boy thing, my thoughts on that is that, you know, women say that they want men, you know, they want a man, you know, they want a man's man, things like that. But they also want a man to have a good relationship with his mother. So I think sometimes women get it confused. This guy just might have a good relationship with his mother, you know, but you see it as one thing because of incidents in your past or past experience or something that someone told you that they experienced in the past. Either way, I don't think she's really taking that situation for what it actually is. She's making it bigger than what it is, you know. Like, I have a good relationship with my mom, you know. I don't talk to my mom every day. Sometimes I go a week without talking to her. But when I talk to her, we pick up right where we left off, you know.
Right.
You know, so I mean, there are mama's boys out there, but it's seen as weakness if you have too much of a tie to your mom, or if you're too close to her. That's what it is. It's seen as weakness. Whereas daddy's girl is seen as like, okay, she's been protected by her father, or she's been well raised.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That whole thing. This is off the top of the head stuff. So it's only sense I can make out of it right now. But I don't think this is a real thing.
You'd be surprised.
I don't think it's not that important, dude. Come on. The bottom line of this little relationship nonsense is that people don't know how to be in them. Period. The vast majority of people do not know how to be in relationships. They want the ladies seem to. You want relationships and you want marriage, but you want them on your own terms.
Right.
You're all about yourself, and if that's who you are, you're not a wife, and you never will be one until that changes.
Right.
Fellas, same thing. What am I getting out of it? The relationship ain't about you. The marriage ain't about you. You're supposed to be all about her and whatever children you have. That is your life. Them. You live in service to your family. You serve. You lead, yes, but you are make no mistake, fellas, you are a servant. Most guys don't know how to do that. They don't know how to follow. They never learn how to lead. They damn sure don't know how to serve.
Let me ask you this: Where would one normally learn how to serve and lead?
By good.
By
a good, strong.
What if that good is wrong?
I didn't say good. I said good.
Gut.
Good. G-O-O-D.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
I thought y'all Alabama people understood each other.
That's why I was trying to figure out. He said gut.
Oh my God! Wow!
So seriously, where would he learn that?
From a good, strong, positive, masculine male role model.
Okay.
You know, you have to learn that from a man. The only thing a woman can do is teach him what her idea of that is, but it's not the genuine article. It'll be a weak imitation. Same thing as the guy had a daughter, he's trying to raise her to be a woman. Only thing he can do is just teach her what his idea of that is.
Right.
He has no frame of reference, though. He's never been a female. He doesn't know. There's things about womanhood and manhood that the two opposite genders aren't aware of. You know, he's going to have to get that young lady a good, strong, you know, well-rounded woman, female figure in her life to mentor her in some way, to teach her those things that he cannot. And women have to do the same thing for their sons. But the problem is there's so few of us left. It is hard to find that, you know. So
okay, that'll work. Tamia, next. Duster, I'm gonna get you to get rebuttal from for Mandrill after this.
I'll let it pass. It's cool.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, Tamia.
Okay. So what I will say is let me talk about the mama's boys, because that's what's running in my head. So I feel that it is very important and very vital that a male counterpart has a good relationship with his mother, because then he has a sense of respect. You know, that just for women gives an idea of, like, you know how to respect a woman, you understand a woman in some sort of sense. So that dating me, it's not like your first rodeo in terms of what are women like, or, you know, you just kind of check some boxes in terms of respect and stature. Now, I do believe that there is a line that can be crossed with this mama's boy thing. Mama's boys that are in an unhealthy state do exist. I do not believe that a male who has a healthy relationship with his mother is a mama's boy. I believe that's her son. I think mama's boy references to the mom doesn't have any boundaries. He doesn't have any boundaries. So there's no line between what he shares with his mother about your relationship. So she's kind of inside of y'all's relationship. Maybe the woman feels like there's no privacy, or she has no say, or there's nothing between her partner and her. It's like her partner, the mom. And I think that's where that mama's boy concept comes from, and why women push away from that. If that male as an adult cannot say, hey mom, totally respect, you know, our time together, drawing a line, boundaries, like setting boundaries, like not disrespecting his mother for that woman, but saying, hey, this is my wife, or I'm taking this relationship very seriously. This doesn't mean that I'm neglecting you or our relationship, but this is between my partner and I. There are a lot of men that will not do that towards their mom. And it's like, if you're a man, you have to get married eventually. Once you marry a woman, that woman takes you from your parents, your father and your mother. So it's kind of like the men that don't understand that line. So that's mama's boy in a sense where it's toxic for me, where it's like that mom can walk into your house, have a key to your house, and you won't know. You don't know when mom's gonna pop up. There's no line. If you tell her no, she doesn't care. She's coming. And I have 2 sons. So I've even been trying to mentally prepare myself, because I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the mom that the girlfriend or the wife is afraid of. But in terms of the daddy's girl, I feel like it's more respectable, because in society, men want to know that women know how to carry themselves. And I feel like if a woman has now we're speaking daddy's girl for me in reference of a honorable father, right? Not like just daddy's girl because my daddy raised me, but he spoiled me in an unhealthy way, where I have this like unrealistic viewpoint of life, right? So I think daddy's girls in a sense of like, no, my dad let me know what my worth is. My dad let me know that, like, for example, my father, we were not always that close, but from very young, when I did get to interact with him, he's who set the tone for me. Like, your body's a temple. You know, this is how you carry yourself. This is how you should speak. You know, dating is not really a priority. Sometimes he scared me a little bit, but I definitely can attest that he is the reason why there were some things I needed to hear from a male figure on how I was supposed to be viewed as a young lady and as a woman. I feel like daddy's girls, because I can't remember who said it, but like a daddy's girl like will never be married. I'm very much married. I feel like a princess when I talk to my dad still, and I'm 26 years old. But I think it's more so just because he was that first example I had of like, oh, I'm worthy. I'm a lady. I'm nice. I should be treated with respect. So yeah, I believe that that's how I view it. But mama's boys, they do exist in an unhealthy extent, and daddy's girls, where it's like, yeah, my daddy got me this, so you need to do that, and my daddy did this, so you need to know that there's a toxic level to each of them. And I feel like, but there is a good side to each, where you see a mother that has raised her son tremendously well. He knows how to court a lady, or just has a good example. And then of course, if both parents are in the picture, there's just more likelihood of that. But mama's boys, they exist, and unhealthy daddy's girls, spoiled, I would call them. I think that's when we're called spoiled, when it's like, what are you asking for, and how well do you actually deserve that? But I think they both have healthy perspectives as well.
Well, I got one question before you go, Ray, because it's
okay. I'm about to destroy this shit. It's fine. Go ahead and get it out.
Ray, I know that's why I wanted to get it here now, because Ray's locked and loaded. I see it. Okay, I don't want to let him cook. My thing is this whole daddy's girl thing, but I don't understand what the pushback. Why is this even a question? Like my sister, right? Mm-hmm. Preferably, I would want her to be with no one who was less than my father.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. However, realistically, good fucking luck doing that. You know what I'm saying? I just keeping it real. How many guys are gonna do that? You know what I mean? Even myself, like, how many guys are gonna get to my level? Like, I mean, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen often. So I think with this whole daddy's girl thing, people have to look at it and be realistic. How many guys are gonna do that? And if that's the kind of guy you're looking for, find out where those guys hang out and socialize, and put yourself in that environment. Mm-hmm. If that's what you're looking for, ladies and fellas, mama's boys.
It's about bond.
Look at Dusto. He ready to bite.
No, I'm laughing at Reckless Ray trolling the
chat. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. It's just the mama's boys. I ain't gonna lie. I look at those guys as pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
I do. You still letting your mama tell you what to do as a grown ass man. What happened to you? I honestly, I wonder that. Like, where'd you go wrong? Like, how'd you stop right here? It's fascinating to see. I do want the opportunity to give it further study.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I think Ray got it, man.
I do.
Come on, Ray. I see you.
All right, bro. Listen. The issue is, again, this is an American thing. There's no societal rite of passage for men. Most men can't tell you when they became a man if you ask them. It's like talking to someone it's like asking women if they're accountable. Deer in headlights. Immediately. Goes blank. Eyes gray over. They're like, what do you mean? Like, when did you become a man? Like, when did you define yourself? When did you reach down there, grab them 2 balls between your legs and say, oh shit, I'm a man. This is how I navigate. And the reason I say this is because I too was in a situation where I didn't have the boundaries, as we like to say, but I went through a situation with my family where I moved out when I was 16 for a year. I packed my shit up. My mom was like, you can't survive out there one day without me, blah, blah, blah. By the time she got back home, I was gone. Didn't come back for a fucking year. Ever since then, there's been a respect, and me and my mother have a good relationship. Actually, not ever since then. We didn't start having a good relationship till I was about 24 because I didn't like her. But point being, she doesn't question my decisions. She'll support me in my decisions, but she never questions anymore. She hasn't questioned since I moved back home at 17. Because she was like, oh, you don't need me. Like, you can remove yourself. That was when I became a man.
I bet your mom was proud of you for that too.
100%. My mom.
You scared the hell out of her. You scared the hell out of her for leaving and staying away that long. But she was damn proud that you were able to do that.
100%. And she knows. She was like, I ain't got to worry about you. You're good. I don't worry about anything. Because she's like, even if you come back here in a body bag, I know that there's going to be some body bags that went with you because you ain't going out like that. Like, you're fine. Like, she doesn't worry about anything that I do. And like, we can go like, we're not like, I'm not the type of person who communicates with people all the time. Like, when I'm dialed in and focused, like, I get extremely busy. Like, I'll work till I go to bed. Like, I'm going to take a nap tonight and then go to work tomorrow and have to lead people. I don't get to be tired there. You know what I'm saying? Mandrill will be keeping me up an extra hour whenever he gets the opportunity to, just to mess with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a challenge, to be honest.
But what I'm saying is, like, when it comes to these mama's boys, they're not acclimated because they never broke that power dynamic. Their mothers never look at them and go, "You're all right. I can trust your decision." No one trusts their decision, not even their mothers, which is why they're so involved. They never got out of the nest. They're not trustworthy. Like, these men, like, honestly, if you meet a mama's boy at the state that he's in, if he's still in that state and cannot make that break expeditiously, he is not trustworthy. He can't lead. He's never been able to lead because she's been leading him. That's the issue with mama's boys, is they're crippled. They're crippled individuals when it comes to life. Like, they're not able to be followed because they can't lead. They don't know how to put their line in the sand and go, "This is what it is. This is what I'm doing. This is my decision. This is how we're going." And if you can't get with that, that's not always going to be the solution that you like. That's the other issue with when it comes to submission. Submission means that, like, you are following someone's leadership. I don't think that any woman should submit to a bad leader, but the reality of the situation is submission means that's a lot. Sometimes, I would say most times, part of that leading is abutting situations that you don't like because you're not leading. You don't see what the captain sees. The person in the belly of the boat that keeps the boat running does not run up to tell the captain which way to turn the boat because he can't see. The captain makes the decision. The person who's in the bow of the boat does their job and believes in the captain. That's the reason when the boat sinks, the captain's supposed to go down with the ship. That's an honor thing, going, "I fucked up. I ruined this. I torched this boat. This boat's going down to the bottom of the ocean. Everybody gets on a lifeboat. I ran into the iceberg. I get to drown." That's your responsibility if you actually want to lead. Now, if you're a mama's boy, you can't, you never, she's been the captain. Your mom is the captain. That's the problem. Daddy's girls just have a standard of what they view a man as. A mama's boy's literally been inhibited from being able to assume his role in a relationship. And it's problematic. And it shows when the relationship gets serious and the mom starts trying to pull him back in. And you're going to see a lot of these men, because we have a lot of single mothers out here that are raising son husbands, that once they get in a relationship, they really are going to be alone, working all those hours, competing with men for resources to death. And that is going to be terrifying for them. So they're going to have a whole generation of problematic relationships.
I come from a different place, man. My family's just different. Like, my mom's, like, she would challenge me, like, yeah, as a young adult, like late preteen, late teens, early adulthood. She would, because my mom's a very assertive person. She would challenge me on stuff. You know what I mean? And like the way my mom talked to me, some people like, "Does your mom even like you?" You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, facts.
Like, right? People like, "Does your mom even like you?" But it's just her way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She wasn't a huggy, lovey-dovey type person. Like, people talk about a nurturing woman. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, but so it's like, but the day came, and respect is big in my whole family. When I bucked back at her, I didn't curse at her or nothing like that, but I just let her know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what? Never question me again.
You know,
she never questioned me again. She talked to me about it, but she never challenged me anything like that again. And the thing is, that's what she wanted to see,
bro.
Was I mature enough?
Yep.
To break, to break that off. Like, that's exactly what she wanted to see. I mean, and again, I did it in a super respectful way. She just kind of even today I still remember. She kind of smiled a little bit when she backed off. She literally took a step back and smiled while she did it.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Right. I understand. Again, I understand it. I understand. Like, after the fact, I understood what happened. You know what I'm saying? And shortly thereafter, I went up to the Army, and she was like, "Oh, okay, cool, go ahead." And she found out what I was doing in the Army. She's like, "Why would you do that? Why would you choose it? You really want to do that?" "Yep." "Why'd you want to choose that job? It's so dangerous." "Well, this and my grandma was like, "Why are you surprised? He used to jump out the roof of houses with plastic bags on his back like a parachute. Why are you shocked he's doing this?" Yes, as a boy, I used to do
Grandmama's
that. You know those plastic bags you get from the grocery store?
Yeah.
Well, as a child, I used to climb trees and get on the roof of houses that way. And so I put my little arms through the little loops of the plastic bags and jump, just jump off the roof. And use it as a parachute. It didn't work.
Oh my God.
But listen.
Or the umbrella.
Right. I never tried the umbrella. That's ridiculous. No, okay, I did one time and I broke it.
Right.
So, but never tried the umbrella after that. But I kept doing the plastic bag thing. It was fun. What can I say?
You know what? Here's my thing. I'm gonna.
So my grandma said he used to do that all the time. Why are you surprised that he's doing this?
Right.
He's always been crazy.
Listen, I want to clear the question up. It says a daddy's girl is a term of respect, but a mama's boy is not. Let me explain to you why. There is a reason why this doesn't work. And sometimes we look at it from different perspectives. Most times when it's all in how you train your child. Say, for instance, if you have a daughter, you're technically supposed to be training her to be a queen, not a princess. Because if you ever notice, most princesses just sit down and be pretty and let everybody bring stuff, and she has no responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is when guys get girls who have been trained to be princesses, they don't know their role when it comes time for them to be queen. They want to sit down and they want to live their soft life. Well, guess what? That's not what a queen does. A queen puts in work. She has responsibility. You see what I'm saying? And at the same token with boys, say for instance, if a boy was raised to be a quote unquote prince, it's the same way as the princess. He has no responsibility. His mama does everything for him. And then after that, when he becomes, and it's time for him to be king, he doesn't know what to do. He just sits back. And then other women be like, why are you so soft? You don't know how to do anything. You see what I'm saying? But my thing is this, if a boy was raised to be a king, then he's learning to take on responsibility. And I think what happens is when you get into these conversations about daddy's girl and mama's boys, it's never articulated the correct way. We always think that to be a daddy's girl is a good thing because you're up under your dad, you got some respect. Those girls are being in training to be queens. You see what I'm saying? And then if you look at on the other side, when they say a mama's boy is trained to be a prince, there's no responsibility in that. So that's the reason why people look down on that, because most people expect men to take responsibility over their family and the people they're responsible for raising and stuff like that. So that's the reason why most people get those two confused. It's all about how that person was raised. And you can always tell by whether or not that person has a heart for serving. Say, for instance, if you have a girlfriend that comes over, whatever, and she can't help herself and say, hey, let me do this for you. 9 times out of 10, that's somebody who was raised, who had a good heart, who wanted to serve people in her family. Same way with a boy. If he comes over to your house, or a man comes to your house and he wants to come over, hey, let me take your trash out for you. Let me open the doors for you, that type of thing. Those type of young men were trained to be kings. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes when he has to help his mama from time to time, that may seem like he's a mama's boy, but no, he's taking on the responsibility of making sure that, say, for instance, if his dad is not around, hey, I'm going to take care of mom, which is admirable in most people's eyes. You want to make sure you take care of the people that you're responsible for. So I think that's probably more in a line of why everybody looks at it a different way. Does that make sense, y'all? Did y'all want to add anything on that before we move on to the next?
No.
Yeah, it's like I said, people need to get over themselves. If you're looking to see what you can get out of a relationship or a marriage, you're not marriage material. Because on both genders, the husband and the wife, it's not about you.
Right.
Even if you don't have kids, if you're the woman, your whole thing is about your husband. If you're the husband, your whole life is about your wife.
Right.
If you're all about one another, what problem can you not solve together?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's true.
I don't understand this, man. It's just people make this way harder than it has to be.
All right. Anybody else want to add on? Mandrell, did you finish up what you need to say?
Yeah, I'm done, man. It's just,
All right, Black David, what do we got for the next segment? Roll that beautiful bean footage.
It doesn't matter for a man who's financially stable, because I will say to you, men look at money as power. And men like to have a lot of power. A man who has a lot of money is powerful. So when he sees someone edging towards him who has more money or also has money, it's like a power conflict. And at that being a woman, that's already to them, it's like taking a hit, right? Think about it logically. If there's two men in the room, what's the number one thing that they're going to compare each other to? Who makes more money? Who has the better car? Who's dressed nicer? Who has a nicer watch on his wrist, right? Now imagine he has to compete with his woman. He has to compete with a woman. To them, they're already feeling like, and God forbid you make more money than them. Like, to them, that's already number one hit. So this is why men really don't care. They don't care if you make more money. They like when you're like passionate about something.
That was a special kind of moron.
Yeah,
Yep.
I could go first.
Good Lord.
God dang, man. These people suck.
Lost the translation. You're muted.
All right, thank you.
I could go first.
It doesn't matter. He's the host.
Come on,
No, when you play that video, dude, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. Now,
Oh my goodness.
translation.
The question is, stats prove that couples fare better. Why are people acting like singleness is amazing? Come on, Dusto.
I was going to respond to the video.
Go ahead, respond to the video. That's fine. That's the question that goes with that video. But go ahead.
The question is irrelevant.
Yeah, the question is doesn't connect with the video.
It doesn't. You did this lost in translation.
Yeah, I can respond to the.
Come on, Dusto. Come to the video.
All right, a few things.
David.
Number one, there are men who think that money is everything, and big money, big money, big money, big money,
big money,
and it's a lie. Now, if you're in the top 3%, there's a certain level of anything. Like if you're top 3% of looks, top 3% of even playing a saxophone. Hey, that's different. But overall, big money. The answer is no. Money is only what money can do. That's what it is. If a woman does not like you, but she likes your money, she will date your money. They will do that because your money is attractive and you're not. Men, as far as men sizing up, I got big money. I got bigger money. Those men have nothing else. They don't have power.
No.
The money has more power than they do. And the more money said, get up and go dance like a monkey. And they said yes. And they're going to die 32, missing a lung, dusted and crusted with the arm out reaching for a Brinks truck that pulled off right in front of them. Money ain't nothing but money. And the competition for money, we talking about relationships.
Right.
90% of all the real conversations, not the dust conversations, 90-something% of the conversations of what went wrong with the relationship have nothing to do with money. Where is this fictional place? Excuse me, why'd you break up with your last boyfriend? Money! That's a lie. But they bring it in here. If he was making the money, if big money, it's a lie. I'll land the plane right there.
Thank you, Dusto. Mandrill.
Yeah, listen, any man who doesn't know the difference between money and power, I can't respect you. I can't. You don't have much, especially professionally, you have absolutely nothing to offer me because you don't even know what game you're playing. You know what I'm saying? Let alone the players, let alone the pieces. You have no idea what you're doing if you don't know that money and power are not the same thing. I've heard guys say, money is power. I've heard that. And I was like, yep. Nope. Instantly. You don't know what you're doing. If money was such a big deal, I mean, why is it that women get with rich dudes but break up with them? Wouldn't they just stay there in perpetuity regardless?
Access.
Right. They access, but then they break up with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
no, access. They monkey branch. They find
right.
the rich dude they wanted.
Yeah. Until they find the rich guy they wanted. But the point is, they do monkey branch. They do get with rich dudes they don't want in order to get to the one that they want. So rich dudes get cheated on all the time. They get in bad relationships. And you got some rich dudes getting abused by women. Happens, but the rich guy's never going to tell anybody that publicly.
Do you really think rich guys abuse women? That's something I hear all the time.
No,
You want
no.
the truth?
Here's the thing: you got some guys who do just like some rich guys who do just like regular guys. You got some regular guys who do. You got some poor guys who do. You know, so there's no real difference there. You're not gonna be safer in one category or the other, ladies. It's a person. You just need to pay much more attention to the person that you're with as opposed to his money. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to count, what kind of person he is. And I think a part of what Dusto was saying was that what really tears down relationships and marriages, it ain't got nothing to do with money. It's the people involved. That's what tears it up. The lack of communication, the lack of emotional intelligence, active listening, things that you're not paying attention. So, I mean, it's the person.
Yeah,
That's
money
the
makes
one.
good people better, bad people worse. It's a steroid.
There you go.
I agree. Tamia, what you got?
So, I would say that people are making singleness, I don't know, seem amazing because of the fact that, again, ego. They don't want to depend on anybody. They don't want to trust anyone. There's this like fear around submission. There's a fear around partnership, and commitment. So if all you have to worry about is yourself and your own bills and your own finances and not really answer to anybody, that seems easier than being in a relationship or a marriage, because then behind it is this whole thing of women don't know how to be submissive these days. Women don't know how to play their roles. And then there's this idea that like no man can supply what a woman needs. So people are like, I'd rather just be by myself. So I don't even think it's truly thought out in reference to like what you truly get out of a marriage and a partnership. I just think it's we're in a society where it's glamorized to prioritize yourself. Think about you, what's best for you. Everything is about you, when marriage makes you surrender all of that. So I just definitely think that that's why singleness is being glamorized. Like, yeah, focus on you, make yourself happy. And also, and it's really disguised as like this self-love. And it is, you get time to learn who you are. I'm not knocking that at all. But it's being done in a way where nobody's really like looking toward marriage or partnership, and kind of just gets left at that. I know who I am. I love myself. I can be bad all by myself kind of thing. So yeah, I just think it's easier. People think it appears as though it's easier to just be responsible for you and think about yourself.
Reckless Rain.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm gonna tell y'all why money matters. Money's nothing more than opportunity. And regardless of what anybody wants to say, the people who say money don't matter don't have money or have never had money. Like, it's just what it is. It's opportunity. It's your ability to navigate. So like next year when inflation goes up another 50% based on who we bring into office, and you can't afford food, does money matter then? Next year when your rent goes up 25 to 50% and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you got to move 3 or 4 times, is it going to matter then? When you can never own a piece of property to control what's going out of your house within some level of reason, because taxes don't go up as much as y'all's rent did. Just letting you know. Does it matter then? If you're gonna, like you said, it's a steroid, but like if you're gonna be sad, would you rather be? I mean, y'all niggas out here crying in Corollas right now. You telling me you wouldn't rather cry in a Lexus? The hell are you talking about? If you're gonna be a sad piece of shit, you out here in a beater that barely runs and your tires are flat and you can't afford new tires. Talking about money doesn't matter. Now, is money power? Money's an entry level. It can get you into some rooms and get you a start, but money in and of itself is not power. It's not.
You can have all the money
it's
you want. You don't have power.
It's opportunity. It's opportunity. But you got dudes out here crying in the beat up from 1980 talking about money doesn't matter. Oh, I can't do that. Like, if that was the case, if money didn't matter, then every single one of the fry droppers at McDonald's would be married, because I guarantee you they're good at listening because they're not fucking tired.
They're not good at listening. They fuck up orders all the time.
Listen, right. Okay, so
problem, Ray. They don't listen.
But I mean, they might listen, or at least be, because like we see women are across the gamut. Women break up for whatever's not there. Why'd you break up? Oh, he wasn't listening. He wasn't a good communicator. Okay, fair enough. Why'd you break up with this dude? Oh, he was broke and dusty. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, why didn't you marry this? Oh, he couldn't provide the lifestyle that I wanted. He couldn't do this. Oh, okay. What about the guy who could provide the lifestyle? Oh, well, he was very direct and he didn't talk nice to me. Whatever's not there is going to be the problem for a woman, to be honest, until she gets some semblance of like, hey, there's not an ad infinitum amount of guys out here that are just going to be marriageable to get every single thing on the checklist, just like men. No woman's perfect. No man goes, yes, this woman checked every single box I had. They normally are in like the 60 to 75% range you locked in.
Better be higher than that. Go for 80.
Go for 80. Okay. Now we're talking about 80, but it's like I mean, if we're talking,
Ray, I take if she's 80% there, if she's at least 80% there, go for it.
Man,
I'm
just saying, like, our
depends on what the 20% that's missing.
Yeah,
come on, Dusto. I know you chomping at the bit, man.
But hold on, I'm not done yet. Like, because women get into the bag, the bag is not problematic as long as they're not acting like men. The problematic part is a woman who's getting to the bag. In order to get to the bag realistically, you've got to be callous. You're going to have to be some form of barbaric. You're going to be out here competing for resources at a high level, not just going to work talking about everybody can get along and kumbaya. Like, no, we're trying to send motherfuckers home. All right? Like, we're trying to take business from people who, all the people who work for you now either have two options. They get to come work for me, or they get down or lay down. That's the reality of what it is if you're in business. Like, I'm not talking about being average now. Now, the women who are getting to the bag have to assume some level of that to compete. And I understand that we're lowering the standards for them. But the reality of it is, even with those standards lowered, the game is what the game is. Because you can only lower it so much. Otherwise, there's just going to be a company of raise that's going to come hurt your feelings. They're going to talk shit to you as they put you out of business. And then they're not going to hire you because y'all are soft. Like, it's fine. But so that's not the problematic issue. The issue is what comes along with that level. Like, are you capable of turning that off with your husband? Or are you coming home wanting to measure dicks? Now, on the point of why people are acting like being single is amazing, for some people, sure it is if it's a decision. But the reality of the situation is we don't know that because a bunch of people who are just relationship failures and losers are out here going, oh, yeah, this is what I wanted. But then as soon as the camera turns off, they're crying themselves to sleep at night in their beat up Corolla after they just told everybody that money didn't matter. And these women, I'm going to defend all these women. And we're going to do what we want to do. And it's the same for the dudes. If you're not going to get what you want, sure, I can say that. But I am actually content with being with myself. Like, if you're not going to get what you want and then we're not working towards progress, I'm like, yeah, I'll get you up out of here. I'm fine chilling by myself because I work so much that realistically, in or out of a relationship, my day is exactly the same for the most part. Nothing really changes because only difference is I'd have to go out to pick up a chick to bust down. That's the difference.
Might I respond?
Come on, Dusto.
Go ahead, Dusto.
Okay. I'm just trying to bring it back to scale. Sometimes I go to extreme to prove a point and to keep it short, to express or highlight a point. And I'm a troll. I mean, you get it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I believe you go extreme, but I get it just to prove a point. Money matters, especially when you don't have any. Let's be real. Let's not be dumb. I understand that. But the concept of if you're not rich, you don't have 7 homes with 333 bedrooms, rich top 2%.
No.
You're going to work for me for the rest of your life and I'm going to treat you like a slave, beat you, kill you. No. But in the terms of relationships, go to the 1-bedroom apartments in where you live, whatever city it is. Somebody's driving a Corolla and they got a woman in the passenger seat and there's probably even a car seat in the back and they're not breaking that bond.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, a lot of them are going to be foreign. They're up 60, 70, 80%. Some for survival. Let's not pretend like everybody was groomed. Some of them are in the same survival marriages that was happening in 1955 with the black community. Some of them got it together and they're looking at Americans like, no, we're not dating out. I'll stick with my foreign Indian pack. No. Different thing. But it doesn't mean money makes you a horrible person. But if you suck at relationship skills, money's not going to fix that. It's going to expose itself there.
Facts.
If your money ain't right, that's part of one of your characteristics that you don't have. Why your money ain't right. That reason will be the reason that you get dusted and crusted by a woman. And she should ragdoll you. Unless you're doing the best to fight. Now, 18, 19, 23-year-olds, they ain't got no money. They don't because they're 23. So if it's a whole money standard, that means all men got to be married at 40 and 50 to 28-year-old to 23-year-old women. That's not reality. But it was another point, and I didn't. What was the question again? The single question.
Why are people acting like being single is amazing?
3 different things. 1, why are some married people acting like married is amazing? As if some single people were born yesterday and can't look in your eyes and say, huh? Really, bro? Single people, stop shaming the married. Married, stop shaming the single. We can't have regular conversations because it's this fake competition thing. And the ones willing to compete are usually losing internally before they even step on the competition field, married and single. It should be conversations. Hey, I'm single. You're married. Hey, what you got? And they say real stuff. But they said no. So bad that single people are giving better advice than married people half the time. But shout out to the married people who are giving good advice and having real conversations. The rest of them, feed them to the trolls. But long story short, try not to hog the mic. Single people have dated. They know it. They know more than you think they do. Married people, if you're not genuine, if you can't see the same single person that you used to be and talk to them with some common sense, then we know what your marriage really is. You can't communicate to a regular single person that you used to be. What your household looking like? What that communication look like? We know. That's all I got.
Thank you, Dusto. To answer that question,
What's the question?
The question was, why are people acting like singleness is amazing?
Has everyone answered?
Yeah,
I think
Not
so.
me?
Yeah. Well, come on, Mandra. I think Ray got
listen, you know what? I'm in a good mood. Otherwise, I'd cuss you out.
Come on.
Because you forgot about me. And that's
Never mind.
That ain't all right. Not okay, man. Listen, you forgot about me. Lost in translation. Don't do that.
monster. Motherfucker squirt.
You know what? I apologize, man.
You did.
Listen, I apologize. I'm gonna give you some sprinkles and say I'm sorry.
Are you trying?
God, he gave you the sprinkles.
Right. I think you're trying to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. I don't have feelings. So the army,
Cap.
I don't. The army pissed that away a long time ago.
It's an epic hour of outrageous excuses.
Anyway, no, I just see fuckery and I correct the problem. Just
Come on, Mandra.
Okay, so what's the question again?
Why are people acting like singleness is amazing?
Why do you act like singleness is amazing? Lost in translation.
Well, here's the thing.
It's an epic hour of outrageous excuses.
Right. So here's the thing.
That was good time, Black David.
My thing is, finally he got one right. Okay. Even a broke clock can be right twice a day.
Hilarious.
So anyway, I mean, now people say that because the so-called freedom that they get. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if anyone answered it this way or not yet, but you did, Tamia.
Kind of like that.
Okay, yeah. Because what I hear is that I get to come home. I ain't got nobody to answer to. I don't have to answer no questions. I can do what I want. If I want to just throw everything on the floor, I can. If I want to do this, I can. That I can. You know, I get it, but nothing's going to beat having the right companion. I mean, because it's only a matter of time before, you know, that strong, independent nonsense becomes loneliness.
Right.
You know, and loneliness causes people to check out of here earlier than they were meant to. You know? So, yeah, being single has its perks. You don't have to answer to anybody and everything, but it's only a matter of time. Like most people, that's the people who say that. I think that those are people who don't know what loneliness is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what loneliness is. You do not. If that's what you're saying, I don't care if I never get a man. Okay.
Just more factors, but
yeah, there's more factors. But one of the things is that they don't. Yeah, one of the things is they don't know what loneliness is, dude. That's torture, and they've never experienced that yet. So take it from someone who knows. That shit ain't fun.
You know what, Mandra? I got the list. I compiled a list while we're waiting. While they say why singleness is amazing. This is a list of answers.
Is this your list or where's your source?
I'll give it to you in just a second.
Okay.
Now, it says that the number one reason is independence. You can have freedom to make decisions without considering a partner's preferences or needs. Number two that was cited was personal growth. Staying single allows you to focus on self-discovery and personal development without distractions or romantic relationships. Number three, financial freedom. You have full control over your finances and can allocate resources as you see fit without joint financial responsibilities. Number four, time management. Being single often means more free time to pursue hobbies, interests, and career goals. Number five, reduced stress. Avoiding the complexities and conflicts that can arise in relationships that can lead to lower stress levels. Number six, flexibility. You can make spontaneous decisions and travel without the needs to coordinate with a partner. Number seven, emotional stability. Staying single can provide emotional stability and prevent the emotional ups and downs associated with romantic relationships. Number eight, strong social networks. You can invest more time in friendships and family relationships, strengthening your support system. Number nine, privacy. You can have complete control over your personal space and can maintain a higher level of privacy. And number 10, no compromise. You don't have to compromise your goals, values, or lifestyle choices to accommodate a partner's wishes. What do you think about that?
Here's the thing. All I hear is fear and selfishness. There wasn't one of those excuses. That's I am the single one.
I love how they framed it as financial freedom.
Financial
But
freedom.
when most of y'all are broke by yourselves, all in debt by yourself.
I'm saying.
So bad.
Listen, Ferry. Listen. I ain't hear one of those reasons that wasn't either selfish or scared.
But you know, here's my thing about that.
A lot of them were just both. You know what I'm saying? That's just. They said themselves, no compromise. I don't have to ask anybody. I have my own money.
Here's my thing, Mandrill.
It actually makes sense.
It does make sense. That's the sad part. But I mean, and my thing is this. I don't hold any grudge against people who are single or who just want to be single. My thing is, if that's what you want to do, cool. I got no problem with it. You're making a conscious decision to be single in perpetuity. Fair enough. But you don't get to complain when shit gets thick.
Yes, they do.
No, you don't.
Yes, they do.
I wear cornrows. Only reason why you wear cornrows is because you got a brother on your arm. If you didn't have a brother, you wouldn't have no cornrows. Brother on my arm, no brother on your arm.
What's going on? What happened?
Yes, they do get to complain.
Why?
Okay, here's the deal. Everything is saying goes two ways.
You made your own conscious decision to live that lifestyle.
Can I get 8 words out? Just 8?
Go ahead, brother.
Please let him get his 8 words out.
Okay. I'm neutral on this. Here's the deal. If 70-80% of the men and 78-80% of the women are dusted and crusted, what do you expect?
I expect better. How about that?
What do you mean?
Really?
Here's the thing.
You're the problem.
Here's my thing.
Mandrell.
Uh-huh.
You graduated from high school.
Right.
70-80% of the people are dust and crust. And just like you said, they went for a dude who looked like Reckless Ray, but he was Raw Dog Ronnie when she was 22.
Yeah,
25,
three or four of them. Like I said, 3 or 4 of them.
They're done.
They're
but
done.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Because I'm gonna wreck your soul. You're never gonna forget me.
No, here's my thing. Survival comes before survival comes before success.
Yep.
And the people no longer believe that all this other stuff, especially half of them never seen it. They come in all the space. The world environment is not marriage or successful relationship. That's what the environment is. So expect people to become what the environment is.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that's the understanding. And it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I comprehend
way
that.
worse.
Like I said, I comprehend that.
But hold on, Amanda. One more point. All these people are actually reaching out and looking for answers. And what are they getting? Even from married people.
Dust.
So what do you expect them to do?
I got it.
I expect them to come to my channel and get their finances straight, so they at least have a basis to start from, where they're not in poverty, having to be homosexuals, to live with a roommate, so that they can keep a house over their heads, and being forced to pair up. Like, you can at least have it as a legitimate option.
No, reckless.
If you're gonna,
there's 10 other channels that are scam masters. You know this.
That's fair. That's fair.
So how do they know to come to you? How
because I'm talking about the time value of money, the velocity of money. I'm talking about private banking. I'm talking about things that rich people actually talk about. Like, no,
Just say you sound like the rest of them.
You're right.
Hey, bro. Well, that's fine. Then stay broke. It doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't affect me.
Right. Honestly,
I'm just saying that is what exists, and that's why. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Dusto. But my thing is,
that's why.
Part of my angst since I've been on YouTube is that number one was the shock at how dumb people were. Number two was the shock of how many people were just that stupid. Number three, and this is the most important one, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Number four, they don't want to be better.
That's not true.
They just want to feel better. Most of the people in these spaces just want to feel better. They don't care if they're factually right. They want to feel right. They want to feel like they want something.
They don't actually want to change, man. They just things, and that's what upset me with people when I first came to YouTube. That's why I cursed everybody out. It's because everyone deserved it. And Dr. Nakumbe, don't start. Everyone deserved it. Yes, everyone deserved
it. They got lied to. What do you expect?
I get it, but you're supposed to be, I expect better.
Mandrill, hear me out. Me and you were grounded in some kind of family structure. That's what we know, meaning you can't beat it out of us. You're talking about people who are grounded in dust. You have to beat it into them.
Can you really beat it into them?
That was what I was about to say.
Makes it worse because all it is shaming, blaming, and more negative energy.
My thing is
this. You wouldn't. Why don't we do this?
Well, one quick second.
My bad.
When it comes, because I want to be clear and make sure people don't misunderstand me. When it comes to people who make a conscious decision, saying, "Hey, I don't see the benefit in this. I would choose to be single." I say, "Okay, I salute. Good for you. I don't have a problem with that at all." You made it. You looked at it in the context of a cost benefit scenario, and you saw no benefit. I can accept that answer from a person, but when you come up on these panels and you're blaming people, like the reasons you read off, every single one of them, it's a fact. Every single one of those was either fear or selfishness. Some of them were both.
Yep.
That's my thing. Then if that's the case, then the problem is you.
Yeah.
Well, my question is this. My question is this: if being single is so awesome, then why are you on YouTube 18 hours a day, like challenging everyone who at least says they're happily married? Like, let's believe it. And I give this conjecture all the time. If I'm wrong in my ideology and my mindset, but I'm doing better at life than you, then why would people adopt your mindset as a loser over my mindset? Period. Like, I have a better outcome. I have better results. Like, if these people have better results, if you're single and you're wealthier than most couples, and you're doing better in your life and your quality of life, and you're living longer than most couples, then I'd say you might have an opportunity to make that a point. But, like, you know what? I don't know anyone who I see in these YouTube streets 18 hours a fucking day that's happy. Y'all look pathetic as shit. Like, you have no lives. But you're out here arguing all day like you don't leave your houses.
I can't.
But we're supposed to believe y'all.
They do. I'll be sitting right here working.
Like, they don't go outside, bro. I don't see no videos of y'all outside.
I will wake up at 4:30 a.m. Ray. Right? Yep. Personal hygiene the whole night. I'm out the door on my way working out. Right.
Yep.
I will come back, eat breakfast. They're still on. I'm right back out the door. Okay.
From last night.
I'm right back out the door. Right. Okay. Afternoon comes. I come home, I cook lunch, the whole nine. They're still on. I'll start working. Until I stop working, they're still on. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what are you doing?
I can explain it, but I can't. I can explain it, but I can't justify it.
We do not care.
You know what? To me,
I can just tell you why.
I don't need you to jump in here like
right.
double Dutch
Wow.
because I know you've been waiting. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Tamia.
Okay.
Sorry,
so,
Tamia.
No, it's fine. I'm
Sorry,
good.
Mandrell did it.
I'm good. No, I'm actually gonna comment on Mandrell's side and the fact of like that whole list. So it was said that they can complain. I don't believe that if you make like Mandrell said, you make a conscious decision of what you feel is best to then turn around and complain about it.
Right.
Now, if you sat there and you're like, I like my private, also on that list, if you're saying that, okay, privacy, financial stability, making decisions, compromise, all of these things to that person that made that list or whoever made those votes seemed like they would be sacrificing that in a relationship, then you're in the wrong relationship. You should still be able to obtain privacy. You should still be able to make your own decisions. You should still be able to do things for yourself, take part in your own hobbies. Like, being in a relationship does not mean that necessarily your whole existence gets wiped out. And I feel like that list made it seem like it's either I keep myself in my own world, my own bubble, or I get into a relationship and I can no longer like go run a marathon if I wanted to. That's not the case when you commit to a relationship. So that's why, to me, I agree. It sounded quite, what's being glamorized these days. Like, if you're single, focus on yourself. It's all about you. You don't have to think about anybody else. You know, being to yourself is the best reward. You can do self-work in a relationship, in a marriage. A marriage itself is self-work. Like, a relationship itself, if it's a healthy one, it's self-work, because you and that person are changing the whole time. But granted, I am with the people that have found out what works best for them. And if that's singleness, great. That's amazing for you. But if it's a matter of I'm single because I'm choosing all these things, but I'm still mad at it, then I cannot sit here and say like that you make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, granted, I feel like the people that are thinking this way with that list are people who do not have a blueprint, who maybe have a negative perspective, like what Dusto's saying, like a negative perspective or no perspective at all as to what a relationship is or what a marriage is that's actually functional. Because if you're saying that you're losing your time, you're saying that you don't want to compromise. Like, I think compromising is in character. Like, nobody walks this planet just like everything goes my way. Then yes, granted. Like, if you don't have the example, then yeah, you may be thinking this way, and it may take experiencing somebody, but it's gonna take work, like y'all said, beating it in. I do believe it can be changed, but that person will have wanted to do the work. I think Mandrell said that too. Mandrell said that. Like, you're gonna have to want to do the work. So at the end of the day, it comes down to that person. Like, you're the problem. Mandrell said that too. Like, you're the problem at the end of the day. It's either you want to get with somebody and learn what that looks like in a good way and believe that it can be better and you can maintain all those things. To maintain all those things, that's your business, not your partner's. So I don't know. I just feel like you just can't complain. You can't. If it's single, it's amazing for you, then it genuinely needs to be amazing.
Question for Tamia.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Tamia, you have children, right? You're married, right?
Yes, I'm married and I have 2 sons.
Okay, if your sons, if you said, I'm going to pull them out of school in 7th grade and they can just play video games from 7th to 12th grade, and then it's going to show up and be 18. And each of them on the 18th, let's say they're 2 years apart. One's 18 and one's 20. You pull them out of school, fed them butterbean biscuits, you join the Nation of Wigwam, and your husband says he's going to work on his rap career. Then when they turn 20, you say, all right, now y'all go out there and get married and bring back a wife in 6 weeks. What I'm saying is, this is who these people are.
Which I took.
Then someone lied to them and told them they was going to hand them a spouse at the welfare office. So they're going to behave like what they were taught. And there is a ridiculously large environment for that, to where when we show up, and I'm even single, we are the outliers. Now, I get it. Nobody cares. It is what it is. All I'm saying is why and how this happened. And some of them even come from 2-parent households and all this. People got drama, trauma, but the environment is everything other than common sense, regular, communication-based, principle-based, structure-based, love-based relationships.
Just let me ask you a question, man. You said that a lot of times the environment, fosters how people look at things, right? Well, in kindergarten, there was this little box that everybody had to get checked. And it says, plays well with others. And I think some of those people didn't get that box checked. It's starting to show. You know what I mean? My thing is this: whenever you get into a relationship, people think that their life is going to be peaches and cream and all this other stuff. Get married and find out that your wife or your husband will introduce you to your real self. You know what I mean? We like to go around and have this grandiose ideas of ourselves, but nobody can point out your flaws better than somebody who sees you every single day. You know what I mean? And they will force you, you know what I mean, to take a long look at yourself and say, you're not as great as you think you are. But if you decide you want to change, I'll help. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And I think when people try to avoid relationships, they're just, building into this grandiose idea of themselves instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to let go of who I am and I'm going to become one with another person. And we're going to have our own mission that we go forward with. Does that make sense?
It would actually be worse. Let's say we took these people who are not relationship material.
Well, say for instance they are.
And put them together.
Say for instance they are.
Well, if they are,
yeah.
Part of being relationship material is you got to be in your mind. Like, hey, I am a husband.
Right.
If you look in and say, oh, I'm a player, I'm a pimp, I'm a whatever.
You probably shouldn't be getting married anyway.
I mean, so some people who are saying I want to be single, they're actually making the right decision. Let them do it by themselves or stay by themselves than go and ragdoll somebody else and screw up the rest of the world.
Right.
Right. And that's when if it's amazing for you, then let it be amazing and don't complain. Like that's if that's what, like, if you know who you are, you know how that functions, you can't, it may not be your most ideal. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves a partner. But if you, again, are consciously making that decision because you're not there yet and then are not willing to do what it takes to get there, then continue to call it amazing and don't complain or make it seem like people are attacking you for being single if that is what you are consciously choosing. Because at the end of the day, if you had an example, if you did not have an example, once you have awareness, you have the power and the tools to make a difference or to go seek a way to better yourself. Once you have awareness, if you are aware that I have no training or have no idea how to be a wife, I have no idea how to be a partner, I have no idea how to function as a team, there are multiple resources. If you are willing, you'll find, we want something, we find a way. You want money, you find a way. You want a job, you get it. You want opportunity, you go seek it. You don't want it, you don't do it. So it's all about will at the end of the day, like the choice you make for yourself. So it's kind of like, it's that nobody's at an end point of like, oh, I've never seen, my parents were not married. I didn't see wow, hey, amazing marriage, but you make mistakes, you learn, you go over things, and then you make efforts. Like there's things that I can't learn on my own. I go pick up a book. I go look or try to figure out a resource that I can trust that's setting that right example to figure things out. I come on a podcast. I hear other perspectives. That's all applying yourself to figure it out. Because there are people that get married and don't know what marriage is about. Neither my husband or I are for married couples or a 2-parent household.
I think it really boils down to willingness. You know what I mean? Honestly, I used to tell people when I'm managing folks, it's going to be a skill issue or will issue. I can't fix a will issue, but I can fix a skill issue. You know what I mean? I can give you the tools that you need to be successful, but I can't make you want it. And I think that's a problem when people try to glorify certain things because it has to be in you to want it. Does that make sense?
Facts. 100%. 100%. And one of the other things that y'all got to understand is a lot of people are trying to live in this space. They make sticks. They have a character that they play when they log on here.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
A lot of people are making their livings or trying to make their livings in this space. They don't actually own anything in real life. They're not registered. They don't have employees. We got a bunch of independent entrepreneurs out here that want to espouse things to you. And your scam is right. A bunch of these people are taking y'all to the cleaners. They're taking you around the block. They're taking you up the street, down the street, running you all over the place because they live here. This is their income. This is where they are. If this is the only thing that you own and you're building outside of this from this, that's a different conversation because you live here. Your income source starts here. It didn't start out there in the real world. And like that's something to take into account too. Like these people that are on here and you know, I take people at their word, and I'll check you at your word. But like a lot of people are in these spaces, and they cross over into lanes that they don't belong in when it comes to their opinions on things. And that's something that you also have to take with a grain of salt, because if life is so great, then how do you have 18 hours a day to be online disparaging people who don't agree with your talking point of how you exist in life? How does that work? Either way, it goes both ways. Like I'm like, where are these YouTube channels that are just glorifying how great it is to be single, and you got a bunch of people riding roller coasters by themselves with the selfie stick out there going, this is just wonderful. I love being here by myself, waiting in line by yourself with no one to talk to. Most of the single life is great are women who are still participating and going on dates to get free food, still go out to the club every night to get free drinks. I mean, most of the dudes expounding how great single life is, the only good stories that they got is about how they're paying for women to have fun times with so that they'll leave, which I do understand. But if that's all you're doing, that sounds pretty vaporous as well. Like, I mean, I'd understand if you were going to be single and you were going to cure cancer. Most of y'all ain't even got your finances straight. You're not doing anything that warrants being single. You're not moving any needles forward, not for yourself, not for your family. You just feel good right now. Just it's a temporary thing. Like you're happy now. You're chasing happiness. Happiness is literally one of the most vapiest things ever. I don't want to be rich to be happy. That's just, it's stupid.
I do
100%. But are you rich yet? Like, I mean, what are you? I mean, my question is, if that's the mentality that you have, that you're chasing happiness, how do you focus to outwork me? Because I don't give a fuck if I'm happy. How do you focus? Like if me and you were competing on something, I'm like, I'm going to put in 18 million hours. I'll sleep and die on this shit. And you're going, well, I want to be happy. So I got to stop. I'm going to smell the roses. I'm going to go get on the roller coaster by myself with the selfie cam out to let you know that whole time that you're taking a break, I'm fucking working, dude. Like, how mathematically if we're both crunching at a goal, at an end goal, and we're competing with each other, how does the person who takes umpteen breaks, it's the same. How do you compete with somebody who doesn't stop working?
The answer is in the fictional question that you asked.
Okay.
Where I'm competing and I gotta kill them all, say 58. That's you. That ain't me.
Okay, fair enough. That's totally fair. But then this is the reality of the statement that you just made. We're trying to force people to take maternity leave because men want to continue working, and women, in order to compete, are like, that's not fair because these guys are getting promoted around me because they never fucking leave.
No.
So then you have to.
Right.
But what I'm saying is a real world example of what we're just talking about, our imaginary scenario. What you just said, I'm not competing with you. Well, that's fine. But then what happens? Does that mean that you're not competing across the board? And you're like, I don't give a shit if I get promoted. Just give me my check, and I'm just going to show up whenever.
No, but you're proving my point.
Come on, Dustin.
For you, if you don't have $647 million tonight,
no,
you
I never said that. That literally, I never said that. I'm just saying.
Indirectly, that's what you're saying.
No. What I'm saying is the person who has to stop is going to lose to the person who doesn't stop. So if we're in a world where we're competing for promotions and competing for resources, the person who continues working is going to just end up with more of those. It's just factual.
You're missing the point.
It does sound like that, Ray.
No, Ray, here's the point. Here's the point. Oh my God, resources. You go out and chop 15 dragons' heads off and you come back with 4 gallons of gold. I'm like, you know what, resources? Let me log on to resources.com. Hold up, this job is paying and I can be fat and lazy? I'm not only going to get a gallon of gold. I want that. They have a gallon of gold, and that was their goal. Not only that, but
that's
money.
Fair. That is fair.
Money is only what money can do.
Facts.
Now, I don't knock people going out there trying to get it. Hey, get it. But for you, you may need 4 boxes of gold, and you're willing to sacrifice all of this stuff to get it. This person needs this stuff. They need to be home on Christmas. They need to be healthy. They need 9 hours of sleep. Oh, because that person, if you gave them 55 gallons of gold, they'll burn it because they're missing what they need. Everyone's different.
Fair.
Some people need to get off on level 5, some level 65. But there's nothing wrong with level 5, especially if level 5, you can be on level 78 and 58 other areas of life.
Fair enough. The
All right,
reality
Black
of the
David.
situation. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Now, I understand you're going to say the buildings are crumbling. We know.
Okay.
But here's the
that
deal.
was all I was gonna. That was the only
Hold
context
on.
I was gonna add, because I'm like, if you're on level 5 and level 5 crumble, and the other issue is
Or
this:
you could have 3 buildings, but here's the deal: all 3 of yours can crumble too. Let's be real.
100%. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not sitting here going, well, and like I understand that you feel that I say that. I always say get to the level that you can
I'm
get
exaggerating.
to. 100%.
Be a character.
But what I'm saying is, if I don't see rich people, and I never experience rich people, when I'm talking to the wealthy people that are my clients, we do not sit around going, geez, these lazy people out here. It's poor people that are complaining about the opportunities that people who have more resources than them have that they don't have when they're not willing to do what that person did. That's all I'm saying.
That's
it doesn't go the other direction.
No, I'm saying that's either. Now, if you care, and I'm not taking a shot.
Okay.
But if you care, if you want to know why, ask the questions. Some will tell you directly, some indirectly. There is an answer why. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Some of these Dusties have kids. What do you expect the kids to be like? You expect them to grow up and be you?
Well, no. I expect them to hand me my fucking sandwich.
No, they're not going to hand you the sandwich. They're too dumb to do it.
Well, that's totally fine. Then get a robot to hand me my sandwich. They can live under the bridge and then die. Like, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't think you understand.
No, I get it, because I'm partially heartless. I'm empathetic but heartless. All I'm saying is, if I'm going to talk to them in a level of trying to influence, I'll meet them where they are before I ask them to do something that they've never done.
Fair enough. That's fair. Also, that's fair. Also,
but you can also not have the conversation.
Yeah.
Just grab the sandwich and run. But you ain't gonna want that sandwich if it came from them.
It's not gonna have what you put on it.
Come on, Black David. We got one more video to go. Come on, Black David. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
2 Texas cities, Austin and San Antonio, just ranked in the top 50 list for most STIs in a city. Let's talk about it. For those who don't know, my name is Ford Sanders. I'm a news reporter for the ABC News affiliate here in Austin, Texas, KVUE News. A company called Inner Body Research just released their list of the most STIs in U.S. cities, and San Antonio came in at 37 on the list and Austin at 49. The list shows that over the last couple of years, sexually transmitted infections like chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis have actually all been increasing in both of these cities over the last couple years. In San Antonio, there were over 13,000 chlamydia cases, and in Austin, around 11,500. The top of this list came in at number 1 was Memphis, Tennessee. Number 2 was Jackson, Mississippi. And number 3 was Columbia, South Carolina, as the top 3 cities in America with the most STI cases. Of course, the CDC recommends the best thing you can always do is make sure you're getting tested very regularly, especially after sexual encounters. But let me know what you think about this list that just came out.
In the words of Don DC Curry, it's Mr. Nasty Time. Oh man, come on. You know what? We're gonna start with the lady this time. To me, you saw the stats. It's nasty out there. Is it better to be single and to be sloshing around in these STI filled streets?
Let me just say that I'm very glad that I am not on these streets. I'm very glad that I'm not on these streets. That's scary. Those are some very high numbers, and it just speaks to the fact that people are not protecting themselves. And then that attests to why single people are like, y'all have like a real hard exterior, because like, who can you trust? Because with numbers like that, that's like absolutely absurd. And things just have to be going on that aren't okay. I'm like speechless, but personally, it's sad. We have way too much knowledge. Protect yourself, wrap it up, do what you have to do. It's like, get it together. But I'm just glad that that's something that I'm not concerned about. That does not make singleness sound amazing. It makes it sound like you can't trust anyone. Or if you are single, I would hope that you are being very mindful of who you share your space with and being very responsible on how you have your fun. So it doesn't mean getting into a relationship makes you entirely safe. But if you are single and you're having a good time, listen, don't let the liquor, don't let anything else get you too excited. Take precaution, because nobody's safe. Nobody's safe unless you protect yourself to be. So I would rather be for certain and safe than sorry. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Mandrell, in 2023, can you really trust somebody, man, with the rise of STIs in America, man? Can you really trust anybody?
Even if there was no such thing as an STI, you couldn't trust people.
Come on.
Look, I mean, listen. Listen. Okay, people, understand the way society is, most people ain't worth 2 cents. The vast majority of us are no. So you have to move carefully. You do. And you have to take time to get to know people. Honestly, get to know people. This whole thing with one night stands and just, having relations with people who, you
don't know,
casual like that is dangerous. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, it does catch up to people, as we see with those numbers. And luckily, none of the things that they mention are a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fortunate part about it. Most STIs are not life-threatening with the advent of modern medicine. So that's the fortunate part. But still, it's not something that you rather have than not.
Yeah, you don't want to bank on that,
right? You don't want that, of course. But it's scary and it's dangerous, and some of us pay the price. Some of us pay heavier prices than others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm so selective in who I date and who I've been with. Like, as a man, I don't have a high body count. I don't. I'm picky.
It's better that way, man.
I'm picky. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is one of the reasons why, because at a young age, I learned about STIs, and I was always in science classes and stuff like that. You're laughing, but I mean, people might be in the. I don't know what's so funny.
No,
but what I'm saying is, let me finish.
Okay.
I was seeing
black man in the chat.
I was seeing stuff in the, like pictures of the results of having syphilis and chlamydia, things like that. Like what it would do to you. When I was 12, I was in classes being educated on these things at 12 years old. So I was like, yep, I ain't saying I'm waiting until I'm married, but I'm getting to know whoever it is, you know what I'm saying, beforehand. And it's something I stuck to. I believe in taking risks, though. If you don't take risks, you don't get far in life.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is a risk. Everything is a risk. Everything is a negotiation. You walk across the street, that's a risk. You go for a run, that's a risk. You eat lunch, that's a risk. Everything is a risk, so you can't move in fear. And you can't let fear stop you from doing what you want, people. Yeah. You can let common sense stop you, though. But I'm speaking, and on the panel, I'm preaching to the choir, but to the people in the chat, most of y'all don't even know what common sense is. So.
Wrap that thing up.
Yeah, there you go. Wrap that thing up. Hey, condoms suck. By the way, condoms suck. I know. Ray, invent a better condom. Because
I mean, look,
they're terrible. I hate them.
I mean, I feel bad because when it gets to me, I got like a completely different perspective on this.
Well, come on, Dusto.
Yeah,
I know you got the bus looking like the Cheshire Cat. But before we get to Dusto, we're gonna read Black Man the Filter super chat. Super chat says those meows are burning the fields of enjoyment.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you for your super
You don't
chat,
get a
Black
jingle,
Man.
man. That ain't but $2.
That's all right though.
Oh gosh, Mandrell's evil, bro.
Right.
He evil.
We appreciate.
Oh, Ray,
we appreciate everything we can get.
You are super chat shaming right now. That's terrible.
Super chat shaming.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Ray said I'm evil. Oh Ray, you have no idea.
I'm not reading that. Come on, Dusto. What you got, man? Can you trust anybody, man, in the USA with the rise of STIs, man? Can you trust anybody in 2023, man?
Here's the stupid thing. Number one, women, stop letting Raw Dog run in blister ball Bobby stick his meat in there. Stop. Number two, the men who hate women's is on these panels. Whoa, the women's. They got sour blister vagina Betty. Oh, really, man? You got to stay away from her. So what'd you do last week? Man, I hit this one chick, but I pulled out. That's what they're talking. Who do you think they got the daggone STIs from? Well, they got it from the Pookies and Ray Rays. But I'm going over there on Thursday.
That don't make no sense.
The dudes are talking about sour vaginas. And then they talk about, I just used the pullout. This is what they're doing.
Don't they know the stuff get on stuff,
And how do you explain that, by the way?
I thought they covered that in health class, man.
Like, no, my thing is, I mean, like, say you're with somebody, you get a side come back home to your lady, she discovers she got something. She ain't been with nobody else. How do you explain that?
Embarrassing.
No, what you do is the toxic thing to do, Mandrell, is blame her.
No,
you can't blame the single moms.
Ain't been with nobody.
It was single moms' fault. Blame single moms.
Right,
no, you blame her first. You blame her first, so that you ride that ship until it's over.
That is god awful. That is awful, Ray. And
it's what Future would do.
That's awful. No, you don't. Because here's the thing, that's not even gonna make sense. Now she knows you.
Hey, bro,
you just
if you toxic enough, it does make sense.
No, but here's the thing. Now she knows you're full of it. You just gave yourself up. Because if she hasn't been with anybody else except you, hey, you did it.
It's the Queen's Gambit. It's the Queen's Gambit, Mandrell.
Like, that's never gonna work. No one's gonna fall for that.
You never know. What if she been cheating too? What if she was cheating too, and now you busted her?
Well, then
you can't make that up.
You on it and tell you, hey, baby, I think we need to talk. And then, Ray, then you blame her.
Right, gas.
It may or may not have been her fault. Now you don't actually know. Did you catch it from your side piece, or did she catch it from hers?
Mm-hmm.
No one knows anything now.
Right.
Now you're talking about. Did you change the sheets last week? What's going on?
Oh my god!
That's not how STIs work. Son.
That's not how it works.
It's not how any of that works.
No, it's not.
Come on,
you was on a construction site and your junk touched the porta potty seat, bro. That's what you do.
No, shaking hands with single moms gives you STIs.
It can now. It can now. In Texas, it can.
Y'all don't put that out in these streets. They gonna.
I've seen the pictures, bro. It can now.
Dusto, did you finish up, man? Did anyone add anything else?
That's all I got. That's all
right. Thank you. And now we get the reckless Ray De Niro. Come on, Ray.
So the reason I was laughing at Mandrell's story is I have a funny story myself, because when I was in school, they also made us take the STD classes. Did you have to write the report?
I was taking classes at the hospital.
Oh, okay. So
by the time I got to school, aced all that. I already knew it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So like when I was in middle school, we had to take like a class and we had to do a report and everybody got assigned an STD. And so like I had to do a report on herpes. And it scared the hell out of you. But I also got the nickname Herpes Boy the rest of that year. It was terrible.
I bet that was
tragic experience. But I learned a lot.
No.
So fast forward, actually the thing that got me to act right, at least up until my senior year, was when I was in like 7th grade. It was 7th or 8th grade. It was when, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Kids, when Kids came out.
I remember that.
Yeah, I watched that
was
movie
wild.
and thought it was dope up until the end, and it literally scarred me until senior year. Like I was just like, no, like no.
But you never know. You actually
100%.
The end of that movie,
Bro,
honestly never know.
100%. So then, but then like my senior year, because like I do have an atrocious body count. So the end of my senior year, when I started getting my social skills together and stopped caring, and then like the lifestyle that I was leading at that point, I really didn't think I was going to live that long. So I was like, YOLO. Yeah, I got extremely lucky. It's what it is. Yeah,
but
man, I was out here in these streets.
That's what I
was a whole ass savage. And like looking back now, I'm like, bro, there was a few choice times in there. Like, granted, I feel like I got a good picker because like I do. But
I don't think you could probably get away with that today, man.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think if you throw your junk on the crap table of life, you probably gonna come back, snake eyes or something. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's just
facts.
It's just
like,
bad out there, man.
Reckless Ray, don't move. Don't move.
Go ahead. You hear it?
But here's the
you
thing.
hear it?
You good?
You can't let that stop you, though. Lost in translation. You know what I mean? You can't move in life in fear. You got to take chances.
No, that's why
Just
you
be
go to the
smart
doctor
about
and get
them.
the paperwork, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Hey,
here's
let's
the
go
thing.
down here to get the paperwork done.
Right.
You know?
The thing is, my thing is this: it's so hard to find genuine people and people who are worth dedicating your life to. That when you find that person, lock it down. Go ahead and get it done.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get it done. Because if you're all about that person and that person's all about you, it's worth it.
Yep.
I've never been married, but I truly believe that it's worth it because I've seen good marriages. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it.
At least that's one less thing you have to really worry about.
Yeah, it's 100%. That's the reason I'm like, I'm happy I'm in a relationship. Like I don't got shit to worry about. Like I'm like,
I'll agree with Ray on that one. Hell yeah.
I'm like, I got this one. I got one piece that I'm knocking off. I'm good. Like, definitely better than going to the bar and playing gamble your junk, because that's basically where we're at in this time period.
Anybody else has got anything they want to add?
Yeah, it's messed up to do that to a person.
Yeah, get to
me.
At
the end of kids, that guy did it on purpose. Like he knew.
Yeah.
Well, no, the guy didn't know. She knew, but she was drunk and couldn't say anything.
Right. Well, no, these chicks are out here drunk and nasty and not caring. No, y'all want to hear some craziness, bro. I talked to this dude. He's a little bit younger than me, but he's a professional fuckboy. And it's a nice, wholesome white man. And he told me straight up, he was like, there was this chick that I hooked up with that gave him the clap. And while he was still infected, he was like, well, I went ahead and like right after he got treated, he was like, I went ahead and hooked up with her again because she wanted to hook up with me and her friend.
Oh.
And he was like, and knowingly got it, was just like, I just went down and got another prescription and called it good.
Doctor, I need a refill, please.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. People are savages, bro. Like these younger cats are
he went and got a
savages.
refill. Is that what that
He
was?
went and got a refill. He was just like, I already
refill?
know. He's like, I just know I'm gonna have it, and like she knows she's got it, and her friend's cool with it, so let's go. And the friend wasn't infected. That's how gross it is out here, folks. So if you got somebody, you better just keep plugging what you got.
And stick with it for life.
Mm-hmm.
Get off this dating market, man.
It's literally Russian roulette.
That's nasty. Black David, Black Man Unfiltered put up a super chat. Put that up for us so we can see it, sir. It says it's just best just to go to the nursing home for love like Mandrill did.
Oh man, bro, you got something you want to tell us, bro?
Honestly, Vinny Viagra been hitting that, and he's doing the same thing.
Facts.
No. Here's the thing. You want to know what? Okay. Would you like to know where STIs are worse at? Nursing
Where?
home.
Oh yeah, they ain't
The
got
worst
nothing left.
are
They
there.
got nothing to lose.
Yeah, all they doing is just getting it in those nursing homes. It's crazy, but they catch STIs all the time.
That's what they say, man. It's just like YOLO down at the, Shaded Acres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they on the way out anyway. They ain't got nothing to lose.
Fuck it, right?
right.
Already on the way out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, dude. I mean, it's
Can you imagine being the only guy that don't need pills in the nursing home, bro? You get pick of the litter, bro.
Actually, you're picking litter, though. Let's be real.
To me, did you want to add anything before we go?
Vaginas don't work no more.
You ain't got nothing.
Anything.
Nothing. You want to add nothing?
Look,
She
she
said,
just speechless.
She said, them single people problems. I ain't got them problems.
Right.
Y'all go-
I am speechless.
Yeah, it's bad out here.
The only
It's a
thing she
savage
said-
world.
The only thing she said about this category was, "I'm so glad I'm married. I'm so glad I'm not out here no
I'm
more."
literally like scarred off this conversation. This isn't this.
Wait until you see the pictures of what it does to you.
No.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I did go through middle school where I did see.
Go take an actual class though, a collegiate level class.
Mm-mm.
I did.
Well, I did nursing school and things. Like, I'm not completely icked at what it looks like.
Oh yeah, I don't.
People are sick. Like,
It happens though. I mean, one thing is this: it happens. As long as it's not life threatening, it's disgusting that you spread it. As long as it's not life threatening, cool. But just be careful.
It's just
You
bad
know.
people that know the people that know, like they
Right, and do it anyway.
We are just like, I don't care. Like, I just want to have sex. That's like, that should never be. Come on.
And let the other person know, and let them choose.
Exactly.
If you let that person know and they choose to do it anyway, okay. But you gave that person a choice.
Of single. That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speechless on this topic.
Thank you, Donna. We didn't want to get you too involved with this single folk stuff. It's hard out here. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said,
David-
the only thing she said was, I'm so glad I got
Right.
married. I'm so glad I ain't single.
Terrible out here.
Black Dave, we got a super chat from Ricky Webster. Could you put that up on the screen, sir, so we can go ahead and give him his props? It says, great show and great topic. Thank you so much, Ricky Webster, for your $4.99 super chat, sir.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right. Anybody want to say anything else about this topic
$4.99
before we
super
wrap it up?
chat. I mean, what other penny though? All I'm asking, what my 1 cent, dude?
We'll take it, man.
$4.99.
The shame. The shame.
No, he couldn't even give me $5.
We'll take it.
$5, Ricky. Come on, man.
You can't be out here shaming people for their $4.99 super chat.
Haters, man.
I think like iPhone has a 99, and then if you use something else, it'd be $5.
Yep.
Okay, Ricky, next time make it 10.
And Ricky, don't listen to him.
Yeah, sure,
As soon as I get
$9.99.
monetized, bro, you got to stop by and bless the
$11
channel.
then, Ricky.
I'll take the $1.99s, the $4.99.
Black David, come on. I know you got one more out there for us, sir. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I feel like this. If you genuinely value yourself and you are an honest person, then if you are not meant to be in a relationship right now, you will be single and work on you and be the best you. So you can be relationship, wife, husband material. I think these days people pressure you into being in relationships just because people assume that just because you're not in a relationship, you're working on you taking time to yourself, you doing what need to be done for yourself as an adult. People take that as, oh, you're lonely. No, I genuinely value myself. People that are in those spaces at the moment, they may genuinely feel like, I'm not ready for a relationship. Some women and men are working on their careers. They're working on they're healing their traumas. Some people are not ready to be fully committed. They still want to have fun. Listen, I feel like as long as you're an honest person and you put that on the line, there's not a problem with that. So for whatever reason that you feel like this is the time for me to be single and focus on myself, that's okay. Because I think people forgot what relationships are really about. Like, whenever I'm in my relationship or my relationship that I have, it's my peace. It's what makes me happy. That person makes me feel complete. Like, this is a feeling, you know what I mean? It's more than just being like, oh, we cute for the gram, we cute for that. No, this is something real. We really love each other. I love him, he loves me. He makes me happy, I make him happy. He builds me up, I build him up, and all the other stuff that we know that comes with relationships and marriages. It's more than just an image and just filling a void and making it cute for the public. We all know that though. So there's nothing wrong. So to my people out there who are single, that's not a problem. Focus on you until you know I'm ready to be that for somebody. Whether you're a male or a female, it does not matter. Hashtag, ain't nothing wrong with being single. Because the people that be in relationships and don't even really want to be there, they be cheating. And we know that.
Okay, I just want to say something about our video selection tonight after you.
Come on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, this is messed up, and I know they're gonna come at me for it, but check it out. I know that most of you dudes out here in these spaces like dudes that dress up like women. I know you do, because most of these women, the ones that would qualify for baddies, have faces that don't move, or they look like they could be confused with dudes dressed up as women.
Ray.
Like, I'm just calling it what it is. Like, when are we gonna have this conversation? No, dude, no. I know that was a chick, but she couldn't even make facial expressions.
Was she?
That looked like a shell. It looked like a shell for a face. It looked like one of them masks.
Right. Let me ask you, what did you think about what she had to say? Not about what she looked like.
I'm fine with what she had to say. I'm just really confused about this. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell a difference between the Transformers and the women, because the women that you want are making themselves look like the
It's
Transformers.
already like that in a lot of cases, right? You go to Brazil.
I mean, and in regards to what she said, 100%, fix yourself before you get in a relationship. And if you actually don't want to be in one, don't be in one. Like this, I don't understand why this is hard. It's called living your life. Like, there's nothing anyone on this panel is going to tell me that, unless I feel like, hey, that is a value, I can add that into my lexicon of thought and it'll better me, that I'm gonna do. Like, y'all can say whatever you want. Like, I don't care whether y'all think, oh, you should be married tomorrow, you shouldn't be married, you should be single. Like, it's my life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't understand why we live in a society where we have to have a video like that has to be even a thing. Yeah. Why do you have to have every decision you made co-signed by everybody else? Why does everyone have to agree with you as though we're some sort of monolithic human thing that it's like, oh, well, we all just do this, and this in this exact order? People do stuff when it's time. When it's time for you to get your finances straight, you're going to hit rock bottom and you're going to go, I need to get this straight. When you get to a point where you're like, you know what? I want somebody else in my life. You are either going to do the work to make it so that you can facilitate that, or you're going to continue to be single. But everybody doesn't have to necessarily agree with how you're navigating. Like, I've cut my whole family off for 3 years because they couldn't understand the decisions and the trajectory that I was on from a financial perspective. And I was just like, I don't have anything to say to any of you then. And I will remove myself from the situation. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I'll for damn sure not have you judging me on how I'm doing mine. Like, I'll just remove myself from you. I don't like, my brain can't even process why this would be necessary. Why is this a conversation? Like, are y'all really out here that mentally weak? Like, this shit might be over if that's the case. You're going to have a bunch of people from China and or Russia or any of our other enemies roll up in here and just tell you you're stupid. And then you're going to cry and give this whole country up because, like, you just can't deal with any adversity. Like, you have to be your own person.
Look, we're heading there real fast. Super fast forward, we're heading there. Because, listen, these people can't handle the things I say to them. I'm a bully. They call me a bully. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, these days, I'm just having fun. You know what I mean? I'm just having fun with it, you know, and all that. And Scam has talked to me ad nauseum about things. So, I mean, Kudos to him for helping me out with that. But I'm just saying they can't handle harsh language. And what is harsh language to me? Well, here's the thing is to me. I look and I shouldn't compare people to myself, but to me, harsh language is like, what's that? Ray, you cannot consider a business meeting and curse each other black and blue. Yep. I would not take offense to a word you say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because context matters. Like if we're talking about business and it's F and this, F and that, I'm used to that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? F and this, F and that, whatever, you know, and we're talking business. What's to get offended about? Oh, he used bad language. So?
Mandrell, it's not that simple.
It's not. Of course, there's a lot more nuance to it. But at the same time, people are weak in so many different ways, dude. It really is. It really is a sad state of affairs, in my opinion. I'm not judging them. I'm just stating the fact. A lot of people out here just flat out weak. Their character is bankrupt. You know, they don't stand for anything except for themselves. Then they barely do that because they don't even know what it is to stand for themselves. It's just they listen to the wrong content when they come to YouTube. They know they listen to the wrong content. They know it, but then they know where to get the right answers. They won't go to those channels. Sir Hell Speaks is one of them. I'm just saying they do the wrong thing knowingly, but then complain about it. That's where I have the issue. You don't get to complain if you know what you're doing.
There's more to it than that.
Now, if you don't know, that's a different story. I can't fault you for that. But once you do better, I personally expect a person to do better. You know better, I expect you to do better. But that's and people aren't doing that. So
that's on you next.
Yeah, it's more to it than that. Okay. Dudes are having a dust off on a dust
off. You next.
And a dude comes in and blasts them with the truth. One, they don't know you. Two, they don't like you and they don't respect you because they think dust.com is the way when they haven't, and they think what they're doing is productive. So anything against it, their brain is already wired to reject it. Unless it's established that you're here to help, you understand where they're coming from and you know who they are. Just like I'm doing okay, but there's always something I'm lacking. But if a dude just popped on this panel with a suit on, I make $7 million a year. You're dusty. I don't want to hear that. I don't know you.
He's not.
You're not my dad.
Yeah, right.
No, one, who are you? You're interrupting my conversation. I don't like you, and I think you're a crook and you're probably lying anyway. And I'm
of course he is.
Yeah, so he could be a legit businessman and own whatever. And
he can still be.
If you come up here with that junk, I'm trolling you. But I don't know you. I don't like you. And I don't respect you because you came at me sideways. That's the same thing with a lot of these dudes are doing. A lot of times when I troll them, I troll in self-defense. I say something normal, calm, then here they come, then pow! I hit them with a 2-piece. And I can't lie. I love it. Or I tell them something 3-4 times and they keep dusting. You got 4 chances and then it's freaking on. Like the dust panels, y'all see me ragdoll and flipping. It ain't their first time on. They've been dusting for months with the same thing. 70% of marriages, protect and provide, the women's. And like, all right, man, you come here, dust. And it is what it is. But the sensitive thing, people are who people are. Got to meet them where they at before you can lead them to get somewhere else. But if you're just trolling and to start a fight, hey, I understand. Have some fun. Get them.
Thank you, Dusto.
Oh, thank you, Dusto. Thank you.
To me,
coming with the context.
Thank you. I'll keep that in
mind. Oh, okay. Troll on.
To me, what you got for this one?
I think that basically she's saying what I was kind of like hinting at before, where it's about what you know you have the capacity for. Like, don't sign up for something and you know you're gonna fumble it. Like she said in the end, like if you're not ready in a relationship and you're just being in a relationship to be in one, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna mess it up. So I definitely agree on the aspect of, you know, if you're gonna do this, do it with intention to become a better person, so that when you do or when you are ready for that, you can present your best self. As long as but that wasn't like the way she explained it, it didn't sound selfish. It wasn't, oh, I don't get time for that, I don't want to compromise with anybody. No, it was like, I want to make sure I'm put together. I want to make sure that I'm not carrying anything that I'm going to put on somebody else that's not their business, like traumas or bad habits. And I want to make sure that I can be fully functional so that, yes, we're going to have hardships or whatever, but we're not going to deal with all my baggage. That's very different. Like being single for that reason, because you know you're not ready, which is what Mandrell and I were saying. Like it's an option, it's a preference. Like I'm not ready to do it. Great, you know yourself best. 100% like Reckless Ray. Like nobody's supposed to really honestly do what you need to do for yourself. Like it doesn't need to be justified. It doesn't need to be explained unless it's affecting somebody. Maybe you were leading somebody on and now you're like, I don't want to be in that's the only besides who you're gonna lay in bed with. Nobody else really needs to hear about it. But she did stand a good point, and I agree, because when you're in a relationship, you're not just affecting yourself. So honestly, it is the best decision to try to go in as your best self to avoid, also tampering with somebody else's life.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
Mandrell, did you want to give us any final thoughts before you leave, sir?
Final thoughts. Here's the thing. Because I want to be single, Tamia and I said it earlier. Like I agree with that. It's just if you're making a conscious choice to be single because you don't see the benefit in it for you, it's what you want. You just don't want a relationship. You just don't see the point. Fair enough. Again, I salute. Good for you. But if it's on that selfish stuff, you're the problem. You're the reason why you haven't found a good relationship yet. You're too selfish. So and the STD stuff, as long as it's nothing life-threatening, you can see yourself lucky. Just be careful, take your time and try to choose as wisely as you can. And I emphasize try, because it's very hard. A person can pretend for a long time. You know what I mean? It might be a long time before you see that person's true colors come out. And so I say, people, don't try to manipulate someone into being with you. That's dead wrong. If you're doing that, again, you're the problem in that situation, and you're probably the cause of nearly everything negative that's ever happened in your life, ever. You're manipulating people to try to get what you want, as opposed to leveling yourself up and being better, being good enough. Why don't you prove to yourself that you're worthy of it, instead of just trying to take something? Once you earn it, that's what I respect. People who do what they can to earn what they get in life. You put effort into it, and you'll be 10 times better than most of your contemporaries, because you did what it took to earn it. You got stronger, more competent, more aware. You have no choice but to evolve if you put the effort in. So that's my thing. People who have contracted STDs, my apologies. Terrible situation. People who have not, be careful. That's all I got to say. I mean, and it's not the people who have it. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of life, So take your time. Get good. Take care of each other.
Mandrell, tell the people how they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on my new YouTube channel called The Big Picture. The Big Picture 211, more specifically. I'm talking about fitness right now. Everything, nutrition, exercise, all that stuff. So, and other topics too, dealing with health related issues. You also find me on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Time with my sister, my younger sister. It's called Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. We had a good one last week. A lot of you people missed it. Hopefully you can catch it on the replay. We have another really good one coming up this week too. If you're interested in really good content, check us out. Really good conversation. And please don't be shy. Hit the link. Join the conversation. All right. On that note, I'll see y'all later. I really do have to go.
Thank you so much for your time.
No
Mandrell.
problem. Later.
Thank you, sir. Dusto, final words, final thoughts, and tell the people how they can find you.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, first I'd like to talk to the ladies. Ladies, if your man ain't loving you right, you call me at I'm scam likely. Final thoughts. Singular people or single, married people are married. If you're trying to make a change, meet people where they are and have the conversations. The big thing out here going on is that relationship skills were not taught, and they're still not teaching them. They're teaching the opposite. They're teaching people to beat the woman over the head with a briefcase, go get the bag, or go to this fake tradition of where men were this and women were this fake alphahood, and the women got to do what you got to because you're black. I don't know, but it's a lie. Start teaching people actual relationship skills. Married people, continue to work on your relationship skills because we don't want to see you back out here in this market either. And we're gonna clown you. Like, let's be real. You came back out here and you're talking that stuff. We're gonna clown you. We're gonna take your ladies. But communication. Women have been saying it, and they're running away from relationships because of communication. That's nothing to do with money. Incompatibility, setting expectations. Let's be real. Go ask 20 people who are married when they got married. Did you know what you were getting into? They will tell you no. When you had your children, did you know they thought something and then the kids came and it was something totally different? This must mean people are not being prepared. And these are the ones who actually are making it, or at least still in something. What in the hell do you think the ones who ain't got prepared even for life, what you think is in their brains? So to go and just shame them, oh, you ain't doing it right. No, that's not the answer. They might sucker punch you if you do it, and then they're gonna take your lady, or at least take her purse, one of the two. But I can be found. The Troll Illuminati is still strong. Shout out to all the trolls out there. Let's be real. Y'all need to be entertained. I've seen some of y'all's faces. It's mad. But I have some real conversations because there's a lot of conversations that really need to be had that aren't being had. Just a lot of circular conversations going on. I talk about some of the real stuff. I try to keep it entertaining. Sometimes there will be some dust to come. But the Scam Likely show is in full effect. I think somebody just posted in the chat. Thank you, Lady Navoa. This Tuesday, I'll be having a show. I'm looking for Bible thumpers and I'm looking for church bashers. Have at it. Let's talk about it. You've been beating, oh, the church ain't nothing. Them pastors ain't. And then the other people, whoa, I'm telling you, verse 315-76, because the Lord said. Let's have a conversation. And I got some other dust really lined up for the future. I'm not going to talk about it. But after I put out my content, steal all my ideas of the good stuff and recycle it. It ain't about the money. Some stuff just needs to be talked about, needs to be had. It is what it is. Shout out to all the brother networks, Black Money Unfiltered, Sir Hale, the 5100 podcast, and anybody else I can't think of on the top of my head. Dust and Crust. And how to find me, my channel, some of these channels, or a dust panel. You might see me up there rotisserie smoking a ragdoll in the dusties. That's my job. Y'all get it.
Thank you, Dusto. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for the Bible Belt Battle Royale on Dusto's show when he comes on. Thank you, Dusto. Tamia, let's go. What are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Honestly, do what's best for yourself. Like, that's what I really took from tonight is do what is best for you and then stand on that. So, like, if it's being single, be single and stand on that and have the will to do what you need to provide the best for yourself. If you're in a relationship, respect others that aren't in a relationship and then be a good example or be what shifts somebody's perspective. And then in either or of those, like, take care of yourself. Like, neither of those options have to require you letting go of things that are important to you. So those were my takeaways. And
how can the people find you? Go ahead.
Mama's boys exist, and that there are daddy's girls who exist as well. But there are both, good perspectives of both. It depends on how you view it. You can find me at the Coach Mia on TikTok and Instagram, and you can find me at Tamia Luster on YouTube. I also make these appearances here on Sir Hill's podcast and the Humble Dad podcast on Mondays at 9.
All right. Thank you so much, Tamia, for joining us this evening. We appreciate you having out. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And finally, last but not least, the one and the only Reckless Ray De Niro. Ray, final thoughts, sir, and tell the people how they can find you.
My final thoughts are, at this point, you've got to understand that you have to live your life. That doesn't mean that you have to be selfish or take care of yourself. You should have loyalty to your family, your community, and your country, which means that yourself does not come before the larger majority. But you should take care of yourself. There's no reason that you should be looking for the validation of people who do not know you, they don't know your situation, and they don't give a shit about you to validate your life decisions. It is your life. You came into this world alone, and regardless of what anybody wants to say, when you go into that box, you going into that box alone. You're getting lowered into that ground alone. Now, me personally, I believe that you owe a duty to your family, your community, and your country, and your ancestry to make your life something that was worth living. If you're dropping fries at 50 at McDonald's, I don't think anyone's going to look and be like, yeah, that guy did something. I think you should push to be the best version of yourself. You should push as far as you can. But again, I'm going to go back to, it is your life. That's so important that you realize that. Like, you can get gems from other people on their own paths, people like myself who drop gems out indiscriminately and just don't care. If you see it, you see it. If you don't really care. It's not stopping my trajectory because I don't live in this spaces. I live in the real world. But you gotta take those pieces, and you take the pieces that work and you spit out the parts that don't. Because most of your gurus out here and most of these people that you look to, regardless of what type of advice it is, be it financial, be it spiritual, be it relationship, there's going to be gems in there. You don't have to agree. I don't think everybody should live my exact life. I don't think that, I know for a fact that I shouldn't be living everybody else's life, because like some of y'all have lives that just seem awful. But that doesn't mean that there's not gems in there that can be utilized to make you better. Now, if you're trying to win, you should be looking to take all the information in that you can that's going to help you move towards your goals, because your goals are not going to be my goals, and my goals aren't going to be lost in translation goals, and so on and so forth. But you have to be moving forward. You got to start looking at your situation. If you're sitting in the exact same situations you was in a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, you got to start figuring out, if you dating the same person over and over again, that is a you issue. You got to start figuring out what you're doing wrong at that point if you're not getting the results that you want. And that's really what it comes down to. Are you getting the results that you want? Not the results that I want, not the results that anyone else's wants for you. So I want the best for you, but like, if you don't want the best for you, then what I want doesn't even matter. You've got to start moving forward. That's all I want for people, is for them to move forward, to be like, hey, you know what? Last year, I'm better than I was last year. I got this, and this completed. I've moved the needle forward. If you consistently just do that 6 months ago, last quarter, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I've moved forward. As long as you're checking in and making sure that you're moving forward, your life's going to be okay. If you're not, if you're trying to stay in some specific place, I don't necessarily believe in getting off the elevator. Like, once you get off the elevator, you are effectively, you might as well just be up out of here then. You're dead if you're not moving forward. We weren't put here to be stagnant. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys have a good night. You can reach me over at Reckless Ray De Niro on all social media platforms. I have also started streaming over on Twitch. We'll see how long they let you boys stay over there. A little bit edgy. But you can reach me there. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Obviously, all of my videos are also housed on YouTube. You can also find me over on Rumble. Do the best that you can, people, because that's all you can do. I'm out.
Thank you so much for your time, Ray, for coming out this evening, sir. Thank you so much for spending the time with the fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to go ahead and read a few super chats and make sure that we didn't leave anybody out. Black Man Unfiltered sent a super chat, says, enough weave and lashes in the video to make Walmart comforter set. Jesus Christ, being single is a problem. You will see winter is coming. You better believe it. You better believe it. And Black Man Unfiltered, I'm going to go ahead and give you that one.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Also, it says Yellow Skin Coalition President Mandrell.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
My man Ricky Webster, $4.99 super chat. He says, I'll use Android just for you next time, Mandrell. Mandrell bringing all the money in tonight.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And we got one more last one that says, don't get Mandrill upset. He's Red Hulk. Okay, we'll take that one.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you, Black David, for not letting me miss those super chats. Listen, I wanted to go ahead and wrap everything up tonight. As far as being single, is being safe for being single. Here's the thing: you never get anything out of life if you don't try. You know what I mean? Always make sure that you're getting better. Always learn who you are first, and then get good at learning other people as well. It's much, much easier in life when you have somebody else to go through life with. Now, there's an old saying that says, if you want to go far, you know what I'm saying? You want to go fast, you want to go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you want to take somebody along with you. And I think that it's better for us to be with someone. I think God himself said it's not right for man to be alone. And I tend to agree with that. So with that being said, make sure that you heal all your traumas. Make sure that you get the work and the help that you need, the therapy that you need. And also get good at helping other people as well, too. It's one thing to be in a relationship for you to receive all the help. It's another thing for you to go out there and you should be able to want to help somebody else, too. Sir Hale, I want to thank you this evening for allowing us to host this thing. I want to give a shout out to Black David for being the best point guard in the business. Lady Navoa, Quiet Storm. Thank you, sir, for having us running that show. Thank you, Black David. I really do
had to put this
it.
one on. There was so much dust going on the panel. I was like, man, what the hell is going on? Let me just.
We got to hold it in the road,
this.
man. Thank you, Black David, for holding it down. And last but not least, I'm going to thank Sir Hale. Sir Hale, thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to come on the show and at least have an opportunity to share your panel and to also share your platform. And I really do appreciate it. I'm very, very grateful. Well, that's going to be it for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe and make sure when you get an opportunity to share this good news. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you so much. You guys have a good evening and good night.
May I have your attention? May I please have your attention? Super Sundays. Yeah, baby. We're back at it again. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sir Hale Speaks Super Sundays. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys how much I appreciate you. We've been doing these shows for months now, and you guys have been showing up consistently as we take on and we tackle different challenges and different topics. So I appreciate you. But here's what we're trying to do going forward. We want to grow this audience to people who need to hear content like this. And so we need your help. How can you help us? That's a fantastic question. Be sure to make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell for all of the content that we have, particularly Super Sundays. All right, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy. Make sure you invite somebody to Sir Hale Speaks Super Sundays. We're getting ready to go in. We're going to have a good time. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's get to the show.
Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Down, levitate, going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate. On time, never late. I grind, celebrate. No pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day. Champagne, Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now I'm stepping up to home. Like straight out the sandlot, now I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that calm and steady grind. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. Apply pressure, skin clear. This here my year. Hey, look up here. This here my tier. Same fit 4 days. I grind 4 ways. I play no games. All me, no blame. On the wave, my own wave. Can't stop my shine. In the lane, my own lane. Can't stop my grind. 40 yard in the V12 and like 1.5. At 19, I cleared 19 in a month, no lie. Oh God. I was starving skinny, now my weight up. Got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam. Blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. I OD, apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. I OD, apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees.
Young niggas coming to you live from a place where nobody else know to take it. They hand out, they want us to split the pie, right? Cause they realize that we gone crazy. Yeah, I flipped my pie, really did that 180. Yeah.